On behalf of Kanara Saraswat Association, I take this great opportunity to welcome you all to this serene Anandashram Hall of Talmakivadi, which belongs to Kanara Saraswat Association. In fact, all the viewers, a sincere sorrow for the delay because of some technical snag, as we always experience. Today also there was a little bit of delay in everything. So without pressing further movements, may I request Deepali Mangalur to recite the Sabha Prarambha Pratna. Deepa.
ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारंभा शंकराचार्य मध्यमा अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंता स्मर्या गुरु परंपरा श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तः पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शंकर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्ण पांडुरंग आनंद परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शंकर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you, Vachan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for us to have Saraswata Vandana, for which I got a very young singer, Dhruv Dhareshwar, who will recite Saraswati Vandana for us. Shankar Sada Vandana Saraswati Sama Saraswati Very well said, bro. Now, on behalf of all the brass and the audience gathered in this beautiful hall, I request our Vice President of Kanara Saraswat Association, Mr. Uday Gurkar, to please come on the That's Dr. Pavitra. Would I Gurkha, please? I would also request our donors for this time. We are going to discuss a lot of experiences which they have got in their life. First, Jairam, who is the project coordinator of this MOHAN Foundation. Please, our second donor, Anirudh Singh. A great sportsman is, and third, our own Samir Haladi. Please. Now, may I have the pleasure of requesting our Vice President, Mr. Uday Gurkamam, to welcome the audience. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, Sunil ma'am. And also season greetings to each one of you who are assembled here, also those who are watching us on the YouTube. I welcome you all to this organ donation awareness program, which is organized by Kanara Saraswat Association jointly with the MOHAN Foundation. So we have Jaya here. I think she is the one who is representing this particular institution. So thank you, Jaya, for taking this, as a support also to this Kanara Saraswat Association. Yeah, to me, there are many ways of providing service to the mankind. First of all, I would say, that there are people also in this world who keep providing the personal service, people who go and help either in the hospitals or even individuals to those who are elderly. So this is one kind of a service which one can do to this mankind. Secondly, the institutions like ours, Kanara Saraswat Association, our Chitrapur Math, there are so many such institutions which also provide. We can give donations either in cash or in kind, which is basically used for social services like, distress relief. There are people who are suffering from medical, so there are kind of a medical relief. And also for educational purpose, there are a lot of such kind of, help to this mankind, which is provided by these institutions. And another one important contribution to the mankind can be to donate organs. Yeah, many of us are not aware, in a sense, we have heard about it, but there are a lot of things to be known, how it is being done, and what kind of a process one has to go through, what kind of a document. Because after all, if you look at it, it's absolutely what I should say, approved by the law. There is nothing that stops us from giving the organs. So this can be done also by the deceased as well as the living donors. So we have come across people who, but there is a time limit, I think, within which, in case of a decease, he has to inform those institutions, and then they will take it forward. So you have more about this from this MOHAN Foundation people. I think that's why we have invited them to be a part of this particular event. Yes, while thinking about giving organ donation, a lot of things goes into our mind. We are more into kind of our cultural things, our rituals, which sometimes takes a back step. But I think there is nothing wrong. This is what I personally feel. But it's a kind of a donation which you give to save the life of somebody, because medicine cannot basically cure everything for a human being, for a mankind, unless organ replacement is done. The lifespan may not be too long. So it's very important for us to understand from that point of view. You are almost giving a kind of a new life to that person who is receiving this organ. I'm very happy to say that the Kanara Association, they have really taken a very good step, and I'm sure that we will continue to do this kind of awareness program so that people would come to know that what is that in organ donations. As I said, it's basically a gift to the receiver of this particular organ. So I suggest the more and more we bring the awareness to people, that will help the people to know what it is. And I'm quite sure that it will take, going forward, it will take a very good, kind of a usage for people who know what has to be done. So I consider that, each one of us should think ourselves, introspect ourselves to see how we can be a part of this particular donation program. So I request each one of you, and also those who are watching us on the YouTube, to take this opportunity to learn, to understand what is it, and then take a decision so that we can save a lot of life. Because I understand that whatever I have read in social media or Google and things like that, the kidney donation becomes the most important area, because I understand that there are thousands of people who are waiting for the kidney donation, followed by liver and things like that. So let's all see to it that this kind of a donation is also being done apart from whatever we have been doing so far. With these small remarks, I will end this speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raman. Ladies and gentlemen, before we know something about Jaya Jayaram and her MOHAN Foundation, let me share with you a little bit about what is MF stands for. MOHAN Foundation is one of the most active organizations committed to promoting and increasing the reach of organ donation in India. MOHAN is an acronym for Multi-Organ Harvesting Aid Network. MOHAN Foundation is a 26 years old not-for-profit NGO which was started in 1997 in Chennai by a group of like-minded professionals led by Dr. Sunil Shroff. MOHAN Foundation is an NGO with a mission to ensure that every Indian suffering from end-stage organ failure is provided with access to the gift of life through a life-saving organ. We give, but little when we give of our possessions. It is when we give of ourselves that we truly give. MOHAN Foundation is a very well-known organization, and as our Vice President just now mentioned, that this is nothing but the organ donation awareness program. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that awareness is 90% of solution. With this, may I request Samir Haladi to introduce the coordinator, the project coordinator of MOHAN Foundation, Ms. Jaya Jayaram.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible? ऐकत आहे? Hello. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Actually, Jaya and myself go back a long way. So it is very difficult to introduce Jaya. What to talk about her and what to leave out is a big challenge. That is, I'm going by the script. So Jaya is armed with an engineering degree and postgraduate in finance. I keep telling her she's a engineer plus MBA and atta gayi NGO giri mein. So working for a corporate sector for 18 years and at a young age of 33 years, Jaya was diagnosed with end-stage kidney failure, reasons for which were unknown. She was blessed with a new life when her dear mother, donated one of her kidneys to her. This experience helped her understand the trauma of those waiting for an organ and the dilemma of those taking organs from a loved one. Her gratitude fueled her drive for promoting and enabling organ donation, and she founded MOHAN Foundation's Mumbai chapter in 2016. The foundation entered into a partnership with Maharashtra state government, and they have saved 300 plus lives so far through counseling, facilitating organ and tissue donation. Jaya dreams of an India where it is not so hard for people to get second chances of living lives with their loved ones. She has also set up a patient support group to enable learning from each other's experiences. Live and let others live through organ donation. That has been her motto. Personally, my association with Jaya has been very inspirational, and I really thank her for so many things, especially when I was about to undergo a transplant. Mohan Foundation and Jaya both helped me tremendously. So actually, all the friends, we did a crowdfunding, and all the friends who donated for my transplant, they routed the money through Mohan Foundation, and that saved them a lot of taxes. They got exemption from the taxes. Plus, Mohan Foundation handled all the finances, and they paid the hospital directly. I think that is some invaluable support that Mohan Foundation and Jaya actually gave, and so much of effort Jaya personally took to ensure that everything went off smoothly. I must take this opportunity to thank her for that.
Thank you, Samir. Now, on behalf of all of us, may I request to Jaya to please start a presentation for all of us? Yeah. So, may I request our dignitaries to be, comfortable on your front seats? Yeah, please. So you can also watch. Samir.
Do you want to sit there? You want to sit there? Presentation. A very good evening to you all. Volume ठीक है? Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ullal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kanara Saraswat Association, and thank you, sir, for inviting me here this evening. I always love when people call us and we are addressing an audience face to face. Online thing somehow never creates that connect, So, thank you for taking the time out, coming here. So, one big round of appreciation for you all. Thank you. Okay. So, Mr. Ullal already introduced Mohan Foundation as well as me. So I'm not going to talk about myself any further. Let's start. Next, please. So I'm going to be moving around. I hope that's okay with the gentleman over there because he's going to go with his camera like this. But मैं थोड़ा हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स में बात करूं, चलेगा ना? ओके, ठीक, थैंक यू। या सो हम लोग सोचते हैं कि हर एक जो ऑर्गन है वो जो वेस्ट हो जाता है तो उससे एक जिंदगी जो बच सकती थी वो वेस्ट हो जाता है। और क्यों हम लोग ये सोचते हैं? नेक्स्ट प्लीज। क्योंकि मोर देन 5 लाख पीपल, 5 लाख से ज्यादा लोगों को किडनी फेलियर है, लिवर फेलियर है, हार्ट फेलियर है, ऐसे जो वाइटल ऑर्गन्स है उसके फेलियर हो चुके हैं। और ऐसे व्यक्तियों को एक सेकंड चांस केवल एकमात्र अपॉर्चुनिटी से मिल सकता है अगर उनको किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट या लिवर जो ट्रांसप्लांट हो सकता है। और ट्रांसप्लांट कब हो सकता है? जब कोई देता है ऑर्गन, तभी तो ना ट्रांसप्लांट हो सकता है। हाँ, तो ये बेसिकली आज का प्रॉब्लम है इंडिया का। और 10% से भी कम लोगों को एक सेकंड चांस मिल पाता है। अभी आपने रिसेंटली टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में भी रिसेंटली पढ़ा होगा कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो लेडीज है वो लोग डोनेट करते हैं लाइव ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट के प्रोग्राम में। माएं डोनेट करती हैं। आज तो अपने पास माय मदर, आंटी, विनय आंटी, सो ऑल दीज एग्जाम्पल्स आर देयर of women donors. Okay, but the fact is that बहुत लोगों को ये ऐसे एक अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिल पाता और वो वेट करते करते दम तोड़ देते हैं। तो इनको, जैसे कि वो स्टैटिस्टिक्स बोल रहा है कि less than 10% of the people are able to get help in time, means 90% are losing the battle to organ failure and just waiting that somebody, some भला मानुस will donate their organs और उनको वो कॉल आ जाए कि आप आ जाइए हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हो जाइए, आपको ऑर्गन मिल रहा है करके। ओके, बट दे जस्ट लूज देयर पेशेंस एंड दे लूज देयर लाइफ जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर दैट कॉल। किडनी में एटलीस्ट एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि डायलिसिस कर सकते हैं। And Sameer is one person that I've known who has undergone dialysis for such a long time. I will let him speak to it, but hats off to such people who don't lose their spirit and determination in spite of going through such a difficult thing. लेकिन लिवर फेलियर या हार्ट फेलियर वगैरह होता है ना, ऐसा भी कोई डायलिसिस का ऑप्शन जैसे नहीं होता उनको। It is either a few more months or a few more days. That's it. The story ends over there. For such people, therefore, deceased organ donation या मृत्यु के बाद अंगदान करना ये बहुत ही important है ऐसे लोगों के लिए। At least 10 patients die every day while on the waiting list, and every 10 minutes, a new name is getting added onto the waiting list. Why? Because of our stressful lifestyle, diabetes, hypertension. आजकल कितने यंग लोगों को होने लगा है और ये सब चीजों की वजह से किडनी फेलियर होता है, लिवर फेलियर होते हैं, स्मोकिंग, ड्रिंकिंग, एक्सेसिव, तो ये सब चीजों की वजह से ऑर्गन फेलियर ज्यादा इंसिडेंस होने लगा है एंड मोर पीपल आर गेटिंग देमसेल्व्स रजिस्टर्ड वेटिंग फॉर एन ऑर्गन ट्रांसप्लांट। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। लेट अस लुक एट इन दिस केस देन हु ऑल कैन डोनेट। इज देयर एन एज लिमिट? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? No? Anybody else? No age limit? कोई भी एज में डोनेट कर सकते हैं? Anybody thinks otherwise? Yes? Okay, great. Anyone can donate at any age. एक एग्जाम्पल बताती हूँ। कुछ 2 के ओल्ड जो बच्चा जस्ट पैदा हुआ था, जस्ट घंटे हुए थे बच्चा पैदा होके, उसके ऑर्गन्स डोनेट किए गए। I'll share one story of a lady. Her name is Kerry Young. You can look her up. This is a real case study. So Kerry, she got pregnant with a baby. Obviously, Kerry and her husband were very excited. पहला बच्चा, शादी हुआ, 2 साल में पहला बच्चा हो रहा है, very excited, very happy. They got their checkups done और जब checkups के लिए गए तो पता चला कि उस बेबी का ब्रेन डेवलप नहीं हो रहा है। And unfortunately, nothing can be done about it. अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे ऐसे सिचुएशन? आई नो इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन, लेकिन ऐसा अगर भगवान न करे किसी अपने लाइफ में ऐसे आता, तो हम क्या करते? क्या करते? Sorry? They would abort it because it's difficult to continue on. You want to then move on and look at life, move on with life, right? But जब कैरी ने ज्यादा पता किया तो उसको पता चला कि बेबी के बाकी के ऑर्गन्स जो है वो एकदम हेल्दी है। तो कैरी ने उसके हस्बैंड से बात किया, उनके जो प्रीस्ट हैं उनसे बात किया, एंड देन शी डिसाइडेड, व्हाई डोंट आई कैरी दिस बेबी टू फुल टर्म and then look at organ donation. Okay, so they decided to do that. How difficult it must have been, you know, to spend every day with, feel the child growing, बच्चे का hiccups, बच्चे के kicks सब महसूस हो रहा था उसको, और उसका हस्बैंड इतने अच्छे से उनकी कहानी जो हर रोज का कहानी है वो क्रॉनिकल कर रहा था, फेसबुक पे पोस्ट कर रहे थे। So it was बात करते करते मेरे को goosebumps आ रहा है, but she named the baby Eva, and then when Eva was born, they knew that Eva जिंदा नहीं रह पाएगी, कुछ घंटों में she will pass away. So उसके जो organs है उन्होंने donate किया, and Carrie says that so what if we donated her organs? Eva has achieved that status which probably many of us in this lifetime cannot achieve. उसके उस चंद घंटों में उसने ऐसा चीज कर दिखाया जो हम पूरे लाइफ टाइम में भी नहीं अचीव कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज हर किडनीज आर फाइन, हर हार्ट वाज फाइन, हर अदर ऑर्गन्स वर फाइन। ओके, सो दिस वाज अ रियल स्टोरी, प्लीज लुक हर अप। एंड ऐसे बहुत से पेरेंट्स हैं, अभी रिसेंटली भी वाडिया हॉस्पिटल में एक 4 या 5 साल के बच्चे के ऑर्गन्स उसके पेरेंट्स ने डोनेट किए। बच्चा कुछ 2nd फ्लोर से या 3rd फ्लोर से खेलते खेलते गिर गया, वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट, फैमिली की जो ट्रेजिक सिचुएशन में भी उसके पेरेंट्स आगे आए, वो बोले कि ठीक है हमारा ये हो गया तो हो गया, कम से कम हमारा बच्चा कई और लोगों में जिंदा रह सकता है। सो दैट इज व्हाई दे अग्रीड टू डोनेटिंग द ऑर्गन्स ऑफ देयर लव्ड वन। सो ऐसे बहुत से कहानियां हैं। एक 88-year-old पर्सन्स ऑर्गन्स वर डोनेटेड दिल्ली में, उसके लिवर जो है वो किसी और को दिया गया। शी वॉज अ 35-year-old वुमन, शी इज डूइंग वेरी वेल नाउ। ओके, सो कहने का ये मतलब है कि कोई एज लिमिट नहीं है इसके लिए, कोई भी डोनेट कर सकता है। सिर्फ अगर अंगदान का प्लेज लेना है तो one needs to be 18 to take the pledge. That's all. Next, please. So like we saw, anyone at any age can donate. Donors are of 2 types, living donors and deceased donors. Okay, जीते जागते अंगदान हो सकता है, मरने के बाद भी अंगदान हो सकता है। मैं ज्यादा जीते जागते लिविंग डोनेशन पे इतना फोकस नहीं करूंगी, बिकॉज द आइडिया इज टू मोटिवेट यू ऑल टू नो मोर अबाउट organ donation after death. But nevertheless, I'll touch upon it so that you all are aware. And we have some great examples of such wonderful souls who have, you know, changed other lives through their act of donation. So, like I told you, living donor and deceased donor. Living donor, as per Indian law, 1994 में ट्रांसप्लांटेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन ऑर्गन्स एक्ट करके एक लॉ इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया। इस लॉ के तहत, कानून के तहत, ओनली नियर रिलेटिव्स कैन इजीली डोनेट, एंड द अदर कैटेगरी इज नॉन नियर रिलेटिव। नॉन नियर रिलेटिव भी डोनेट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए ज्यादा अप्रूवल्स, चेकिंग सब होती है। क्यों ऐसे क्रिएट किया है? एनीवन? Any idea? People might do it for money. Yes. Anybody else? Absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So, आज भी हम लोग अनफॉर्चुनेटली ऐसे पेपर में सुनते पढ़ते ही हैं कि कहीं किडनी का स्कैम हुआ, किसी को पैसे देके गलत सलत चीज हुआ है। ओके, बट दिस इज इलीगल। ओके, एंड इलीगल चीज क्यों हो रहे हैं? क्योंकि बहुत शॉर्टेज है। कोई भी चीज इलीगल क्यों होता है? ग्रे मार्केट क्यों होता है? ब्लैक मार्केट क्यों होता है? बिकॉज देयर इज अ डिमांड सप्लाई गैप, एज सिंपल एज दैट। और उसको अगर हमें एलिमिनेट करना है तो क्या कर सकते हैं, अपने को ज्यादा ज्यादा सप्लाई बढ़ाना है। सप्लाई कभी बढ़ेगा, हर बार हम लिविंग डोनर के पास नहीं जा सकते हैं ना, फैमिली मेंबर, उसमें भी लिमिटेशन होती है। तो अगर हम सब ने जीते जागते, आप प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ योर ऑर्गन्स वेरी वेल, डोंट अब्यूज योर ऑर्गन्स, अच्छे से अपने आप को अच्छे लिव लाइफ किंग साइज। पर जब हमें इन ऑर्गन्स की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी तभी उसे न जलाएं न दफनाएं, किसी और को दें। तभी हम साथ मिलके ये ब्लैक मार्केट, ये गलत सलत चीजें जो हो रही है उसे एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं। इनफैक्ट मोहन फाउंडेशन 1997 में इसलिए फॉर्म किया गया क्योंकि तमिलनाडु में बहुत ऐसे केसेस हो रहे थे, किडनी स्कैम्स हो रहे थे, लोग अचानक उठते थे विथ पेन इन द रेलवे स्टेशन एंड दे यूज्ड टू फाइंड दैट उनका एक किडनी गायब है, इतना बड़ा टाका है यहाँ पे। तो ये सब मिटाने के लिए मोहन फाउंडेशन तभी फॉर्म किया गया और फिर हमारा काम आगे और बढ़ते 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 गया। ओके तो आज के तारीख में आई एम प्राउड टू शेयर दैट इतने केसेस नहीं होते हैं, लेकिन जो भी हो रहे हैं दैट इज बिकॉज द पेशेंट इज डेस्परेट, द फैमिली मेंबर्स आर डेस्परेट। जब किसी को किडनी की जरूरत होती है, लिवर की जरूरत, बहुत डेस्परेट हो जाते हैं, बोलते पैसे का कोई ये नहीं है, आप कहां से भी तो ऑर्गन लेके आओ, लेकिन ये गलत है। तो वी टेल देम यू हैव टू बी पेशेंट, गलत तरीका इस्तेमाल मत करिए। ओके बट टुगेदर वी कैन ऑल जॉइन हैंड्स एंड इंक्रीज द सप्लाई बाय डोनेटिंग आवर ऑर्गन्स व्हेन वी आर नो मोर, सो दैट वी एलिमिनेट दिस नेगेटिविटी। सो जैसे कि भक्ति जी ने बोला कि to eliminate any wrongdoings there is this category। तो अगर कोई माँ या पिता या बच्चा या नाना नानी, दादा दादी, भाई बहन अपने आपस में डोनेट करना चाहते हैं तो इसका प्रोसीजर जो है वो फास्ट है, इजी है। हॉस्पिटल के ही जो अधिकारी हैं वही अप्रूवल्स देते हैं, वहीं पे मतलब 1-2 महीने के अंदर टेस्टिंग, अप्रूवल्स, लीगल सब कुछ हो जाता है और ट्रांसप्लांट हो सकता है। ओके लेकिन अगर एक अनरिलेटेड पर्सन है, इज इट इजी टू फाइंड समबडी लाइक दैट? इफ आई एम इन नीड ऑफ अ किडनी एंड इफ आई टेल यू सर कैन यू प्लीज गिव मी वन ऑफ योर किडनीज, विल यू गिव मी? यस, thank you so much। If I tell you sir I am in need of a liver, can you please give me a part of your liver? Yes, you are right, but sir will you give me a part of your liver? Oh wow, I love this crowd। One of the best audience ever। अरे अभी तो शुरू किया है मैंने, खत्म ही नहीं किया अभी। बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा, बट ये अभी मैंने स्ट्राइक रेट मेरा 100 है, लेकिन जनरली मैं जब ऑडियंस में जाके पूछती हूँ तो सबका ऐसा ही हिलता है सर। व्हाई? बिकॉज पीपल आर अफ्रेड। हम इनको नहीं जानते हैं, हम क्यों दे? अपने खुद के परिवार में देने को लोग हिचकिचाते हैं, तो बाहर तो क्या मिलने वाला है, right? It's not easy, huh? So it's not easy to find an unrelated donor, okay? और फिर भी अगर मिल रहे हैं तो then the government wants to look into that। ज्यादा इन्वेस्टिगेशन होती है, इंटरव्यूज होते हैं कि क्या ये गलत सलत हो रहा है क्या, तो अप्रूवल्स आसानी से नहीं मिलते हैं, ज्यादातर रिजेक्शंस ही होते हैं। ओके बिकॉज लेट मी टेल यू विद इन द फैमिली ऑल्सो सौदा होता है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली देर आर केसेस कि इफ द सिस्टर हैज टू गिव टू द ब्रदर then the in-laws have to be paid money, ऐसे सब केसेस होते हैं। तो ये सब बंद करने के लिए इन्वेस्टिगेशन होती है, वीडियो इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, ये सब होता है। ओके ये क्यों शेयर कर रही हूँ? ताकि आपको समझ में आए कि इसमें इतना देयर आर लॉट ऑफ चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस, गलत सलत चीजें नहीं होती इसमें। सो डोनर कंसेंट इज अ मस्ट। इफ इट्स अ लिविंग डोनर, वन ऑफ द किडनीज एंड अ पार्ट ऑफ द लिवर कैन बी डोनेटेड। इंडिया में ज्यादातर kidney transplants or liver transplants we do from live donors, because they cannot bear to watch their loved ones suffer. तो आगे आ जाते हैं, बोलते हैं कि ठीक है, मेरा एक किडनी, लिवर का एक टुकड़ा, because liver regenerates, as a gentleman said, वापस बढ़ जाता है liver in the donor as well as the recipient. But not everybody is so lucky. आजकल डायबिटीज, हाइपरटेंशन सब फैमिलीज में है, राइट? सो मेनी पीपल कॉल अस अप एंड से दैट मेरे फैमिली में देने को तैयार है लेकिन वो एलिजिबल नहीं है, मेडिकली फिट नहीं है, उनको डायबिटीज है, उनको हाइपरटेंशन है, तो वो नहीं दे पा रहे हैं, तो हम क्या करें? सो द सेकेंड ऑप्शन इज टू पुट योरसेल्फ on the deceased donation waiting list. So ये है deceased donation waiting list. We will quickly see what type of organs can be donated by whom. Now remember that death is of two types. New concept. Death is of two types. Did you know this? How many of you all knew this? Samir, you are not allowed to. You're disqualified. Okay. You're right, but not 100% right, sir. Anybody else? Yes. Okay. Cardiac death and brain death. Now, Bhakti, you're also disqualified from answering because you wrote an article on that, so you're not allowed. She already knows everything. Cheating है, cheating. Okay, so death is of two types. एक है cardiac death, मतलब दिल की धड़कनें रुक गई, जो हम सब जानते हैं, right? सांसें नहीं है, दिल की धड़कनें रुक गई, I'm sorry, the person is no more. And the other type of death is brain death. Brain death, this gentleman rightly said, जिसमें ट्रॉमा टू द ब्रेन, एक्सीडेंट हो गया हो या हाइट से गिर गए हो या स्ट्रोक हो जाता है, तो इसमें ब्रेन को ब्लड सप्लाई नहीं मिलता, रुक जाता है, और ऐसे सिचुएशन में अगर वो व्यक्ति आईसीयू में भर्ती किया जाता है, वेंटिलेटर पे कनेक्ट किया जाता है, इवन दो द पर्सन कैन नॉट ब्रीथ बाय देमसेल्व्स, आर्टिफिशियल रेस्पिरेशन चालू रहता है बिकॉज ऑफ द मशीन. Now, the only thing that you said is his organs are alive. Organs are alive in the sense, I would not like to use that word alive क्योंकि it's very confusing for people. ये इंसान मरा है कि जिंदा है? So, वो जब brain dead है, legally, technically the patient is brain dead means dead. Brain death is death. But the organs are artificially maintained because of the ventilator. अभी इसका क्या मीनिंग है? मैंने बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स वर्ड्स यूज किए. ओके, इसका सिंपल ऐसा मीनिंग है कि वो व्यक्ति, वो ब्रेन तो सब कुछ कंट्रोल करता है, विदाउट ब्रेन वी कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग. सो ब्रेन हैज गॉट कंप्लीटली डैमेज्ड बिकॉज ऑफ सम अदर रीजन, एक्सीडेंट हो या स्ट्रोक हो, और इतना हद तक कि ब्रेन के जो सेल्स है ना वो लिक्विफाई हो जाते हैं. इस वजह से ये पलटाया नहीं जा सकता. कोई भी ट्रीटमेंट आज तक ऐसा डिस्कवर नहीं हुआ है जिससे ये पलटाया जा सके. ओके, बट बिकॉज द पेशेंट इज ऑन द वेंटिलेटर, हार्ट जो है, अपने दिल जो है वो मैकेनिकल पंप है, वो ये नहीं रिकॉग्नाइज करता कि इंसान के रेस्पिरेशन से हवा जा रही है कि मशीन से हवा आ रही है. जब तक उसे हवा मिलते रहता है वो अपना काम करता है, पंपिंग करता है. अब अंदर के ऑर्गन्स हेल्दी रहते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि ब्लड सर्कुलेशन चालू रहता है, क्योंकि हार्ट पंप कर रहा है, मशीन के जरिए हवा अंदर आ रही है और जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बाहर निकल रहा है. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट द हार्ट इज स्टिल पंपिंग ब्लड, इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स आर स्टिल हेल्दी. So this is a very unique situation in which patient is dead, brain dead and dead. But because of the machine, the organs are still healthy. तो फिर ऐसे forever करके रख लेंगे हम लोग? ऐसे नहीं होता. ये एक अवस्था, ऐसा सिचुएशन है जो few more hours या few more days तक एक छोटा सा विंडो या गैप बोलते हैं, ऐसे सिचुएशन मेंटेन होता है. और इस 2-3 दिन या 2-3 घंटे या जो भी है फ्यू आवर्स में फैमिली को अप्रोच किया जाता है और उनको ब्रेक द बैड न्यूज किया जाता है कि सॉरी, योर आपके जो रिश्तेदार है वो अभी जिंदा नहीं रहे, लेकिन ब्रेन डेड है, ब्रेन डेड की वजह से बाकी के ऑर्गन्स जो है वो अभी भी हेल्दी है। तो अगर आपका एक हाँ मिलता है तो हम आगे जाके इनके ऑर्गन्स डोनेट कर सकते हैं। सो दिस इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट डिसीजन फॉर फैमिलीज टू टेक। लेट मी टेल यू, एक्सीडेंट केसेस में ज्यादातर यंगस्टर्स होते हैं, वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर द फैमिली, राइट? सो बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज उस सिचुएशन में तो हम उस व्यक्ति को तो नहीं बचा सके, लेकिन उस सिचुएशन से एक कुछ अच्छी चीज अगर हो सकती है तो वो फैमिली के लिए भी वो सांत्वना मिलती है। दे हील क्विकली बिकॉज दे नो दैट their loved one is still alive in 5 or 6 other people, or they're able to heal very quickly out of that, get out of that difficult situation. मरकर भी जिंदा है, मरकर भी ये दुनिया देख सकते हैं, मरकर भी दिल किसी और में धड़क रहा है और फिर प्यार हो सकता है, right? So I know I'm making it very poetic, but this is a fact. This is a fact, right? So this is the beauty of organ donation. So I taught you all the concepts of brain death. Please remember, patient who is brain dead is dead. There should be no confusion. बहुत लोग brain death को कोमा के साथ confuse कर लेते हैं, but coma is very different. Brain death means patient is dead. कोमा में व्यक्ति अभी भी जिंदा है, वो means खुद से सांसें ले पा रहे हैं, सिर्फ उनका होश खो चुके हैं, और वो होश आ भी सकता है या नहीं भी आ सकता है। Okay, one classic case is the example of Aruna Shanbag. You all have read about the case of Aruna Shanbag, who was a nurse at KEM. Very sadly, she was raped and she went into coma at that time. और कितने 26-27 साल she was being taken care of by the KEM staff. So this was a classic example of coma where she was not dead. Okay, so question of organ donation does not arise when the patient is in coma. Only if the patient is brain dead, organs can be donated. Okay, next please. So ये हमने देखा, brain death is severe and irreversible injury to the brain. All areas of brain get damaged and all activities stop. The person cannot sustain life on their own, even though the vital body functions may be maintained artificially through the ventilator. Next. So, can we एक और आगे जाइए, फिर हम लोग इसमें आएंगे. So, brain death में क्या क्या डोनेट हो सकते हैं? सब कुछ डोनेट हो सकता है. Organs and tissues. Organs such as the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, small intestine. So I tell people 1 is equal to 9. Why 1 is equal to 9? 1 heart, lungs, again, left lung can go to 1 person, right lung can go to 1 person, or maybe both the lungs can go to a single person. So up to 2 people. Okay. Then liver bhi, whole liver can be given to 1 person, or the liver can be split such that it goes to 1 adult and 1 child. The smaller part is given to a child. Means 5 ho gaya. Fir kidneys, 2 people. Then pancreas and small intestine. So 9. So 1 is equal to 9. How powerful is that? How beautiful is that, right? That is the power of organ donation. So ये हमने brain death में देखा. Let's look at cardiac death. Cardiac death मतलब दिल की धड़कनें रुक गई. जैसे दिल की धड़कनें रुक गई तो ब्लड सर्कुलेशन रुक गया. ब्लड सर्कुलेशन रुक गया तो इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स हेल्दी रहते हैं क्या? नहीं रहते. तो इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स डोनेट हो सकते हैं क्या? जो हेल्दी नहीं है वो किसी और के भी काम नहीं आ सकता, राइट? सो कार्डियक डेथ में इंटरनल ऑर्गन्स हेल्दी नहीं रहते हैं तो किसी और के काम नहीं आ सकता. तो क्या काम आ सकता है फिर? सर्कुलेटरी डेथ या कार्डियक डेथ में क्या क्या डोनेट होता है? आईज, यस. स्किन, यस. बोन मैरो, यस. एनीथिंग एल्स? Skin, yes. Cartilages. You have done your homework. Okay, can we just go back, please? हाँ, so cardiac death में eyes मतलब cornea, bones and tendons, heart valves, veins, arteries, bone marrow, skin, fascia, cartilage, middle ear bones. All of these can be donated. Means one donor can save or enhance up to 50 lives, 50, through tissue donation. Cornea एक व्यक्ति को जा सकता है, दूसरा दूसरे व्यक्ति को. स्किन किसको काम में आता है? बर्न विक्टिम्स, जो बर्न हो जाते हैं, क्रिटिकली बर्न्ड, तो उनको स्किन की बहुत जरूरत होती है. विदाउट द स्किन देयर लाइव्स कैन नॉट बी सेव्ड, दे कैच इन्फेक्शन एंड दे मे डाई. Okay, so and likewise these are other issues. So cardiac death में केवल tissues donate होते हैं. Can we go to the next slide again? Thank you. And brain death में सारे organs and tissues donate होते हैं. So 1 is equal to 50. That is the beauty of it. Okay, so it's very powerful. It's beautiful. It's not when you're alive, but when you're no more, when you don't need these anymore. कपड़े क्या करते हैं हम? पुराने कपड़ों को क्या करते हैं? जलाते हैं, दफनाते हैं जब हमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है तो. नहीं ना, दान में देते तो कितनी खुशी मिलती है. That is what organ donation is all about. और ये अपने even in the Hindu, the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that when we are no more, ये शरीर जो है ये नीचे छोड़ा दिया जाता है, जैसे कि कपड़े, पुराने कपड़ों को जैसे हम छोड़ देते हैं. और then the next question arises, it is the आत्मा that takes a new form, और ये शरीर जो है ये पीछे पुराने कपड़ों की तरह छोड़ दिए जाता है. I don't know which verse it is, some 22.1 something. If there are any experts, they may share their views on this. But the fact is, therefore, why do we burn and bury our organs? Right? Think about it. Next. So थोड़ा आई डोनेशन के बारे में ज्यादा डिटेल में बताती हूँ, because we feel that आई डोनेशन is the easiest to do and people are familiar with it. अभी अवेयरनेस इतना बढ़ चुका है, especially when I was in college. ऐश्वर्या राय का जो कैंपेन था तभी, it was so famous आई डोनेशन का. Even अमिताभ बच्चन, so many celebrities have endorsed आई डोनेशन. So आई डोनेशन में क्या क्या करना होता है? Within 6 hours, eyes must be donated. Same for skin, all tissues. Within 6 hours, they must be donated. Okay. Now, eye donation and skin donation घर पे भी हो सकता है. Did you all know that? How many of you all know that eye donation घर पे होता है? Okay. How many of you all know that skin donation होता है? Only one person. And Bhakti, of course. So, स्किन डोनेशन भी घर पे हो सकता है, आधा घंटा से ज्यादा नहीं लगता है. आई डोनेशन भी घर पे हो सकता है, नॉट मोर देन हाफ एन आवर. अभी टेक्नोलॉजी इतना एडवांस हो चुका है कि हॉस्पिटल में डेथ हो गई, फैमिली मेंबर्स हाँ करते हैं तो हॉस्पिटल में जाके रिट्रीवल होती है. अगर घर पे हाँ डेथ हो गई है, बॉडी इज एट होम, घर पे आके रिट्रीवल करते हैं. दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ इट. ओके, सो कीप द आईज मॉइस्ट. Let me tell you that it is a very morbid topic, but I'm trying to make it as nice as possible because it's not easy to talk about death. But think about how powerful it can be, that death can have a new meaning. That is what this effort is. इसलिए हम ये awareness talk conduct कर रहे हैं. आंखें जो है वो बंद रखना है, ड्राई नहीं होना है. कॉर्निया अगर ड्राई हो गए तो किसी और के काम नहीं आ सकते हैं. सो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज कॉटन बॉल्स थोड़ा गीला करके, मॉइस्ट करके आंखों के ऊपर रखना है. फैन बंद करना है क्योंकि ड्राई हो जाएगा नहीं तो. अगर एसी है तो चालू करके रखना है, नहीं तो जरूरत नहीं है. स्विच ऑफ फैंस. कीप द हेड स्लाइटली रेस्ड. डबल तकिया और इवन अ सिंगल तकिया. Within 6 hours of death, the eyes must be donated. Same for the skin. Contact the nearest eye bank. अगर आई बैंक पता नहीं है तो मोहन फाउंडेशन को भी कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. हमारा टोल फ्री हेल्पलाइन है जो 24 घंटे चलते हैं. एंड ऑलमोस्ट एवरी अदर डे वी आर गेटिंग कॉल्स फ्रॉम फैमिलीज फ्रॉम ऑल अक्रॉस इंडिया wanting to donate eyes of their loved one. और हम लोग फिर कोऑर्डिनेट करते हैं विच इज द नियरेस्ट आई बैंक. कभी कोलकाता से कॉल आता है, कभी बिहार से कॉल आता है, गुजरात से. सो वी डू ऑल द कोऑर्डिनेशन देयर आफ्टर. इनकी फैमिली शुड नॉट बी रनिंग अराउंड ना. सो दैट इज वाई उस वक्त में उनको हम लोग सपोर्ट देते हैं और हम पूरा कोऑर्डिनेशन टेक ओवर कर लेते हैं. सेम थिंग स्किन भी घर पे डोनेट हो सकता है, हॉस्पिटल में भी डोनेट हो सकता है. स्किन केवल पीठ और पैर से रिट्रीव किया जाता है, नॉट फ्रॉम एनी अदर पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी. आवर बॉडी इज लाइक ऑनियन. ऑनियन में मल्टीपल स्किन के लेयर्स होते हैं ना, वैसे भगवान ने हमें 8 लेयर्स ऑफ स्किन दिए हैं और केवल बाहर का निकाला जाता है. 1/8 of the skin is removed. There is no bleeding. There is no discomfort whatsoever. Okay? और मेरे एक नेबर के घर पे ऐसे जब उनके he was a 96-year-old gentleman. उनके फादर passed away and they contacted me. I coordinated for skin donation. बट सारे रिलेटिव्स जो हॉल में बैठे थे ना, वो लोग सब ईगर हो रहे थे. इससे निकालेंगे क्या, कैसे दिखेगा, पता ही नहीं चला उनको. बिकॉज इट वॉज ओनली रिमूव फ्रॉम द बैक एंड द थाइज एंड ही वॉज ड्रेस्ड अप. His son wanted to dress him up in veshti and angavastram and shirt, means dhoti, white dhoti, that angavastra bolte हैं ना वो. We dressed him like that and his son said he looks like a king to me right now. So किसी को कुछ पता नहीं लगता है. There is no discomfort for the family whatsoever in skin donation. Okay. Next please. So क्यों हम लोग ये सब बातें कर रहे हैं? Where is India in the world? If you look at this, Spain is leading the world with a rate of 46 per million population. Means for every 10 lakh of their population, there are 46 people who are donating their organs after death. Where is India? 0.64 per million population. Long gap, big gap there. Okay. Now you will wonder why has Telangana been inserted here? But last year Telangana topped. Amongst the states, Telangana was the topmost. And it had a rate of 4.5 per million population. So 3 to 5 million per population is very much achievable. If parts of India में इतना ज्यादा डोनेशन है, तो बाकी के पार्ट्स में क्यों नहीं हो रहे हैं? Awareness कम है, right? This is why we need more awareness. Okay, next. So what is it that you can do? How can you be a part of this? Pledge your organs. Where can you pledge your organs? हमारे वेबसाइट में जा सकते हैं, mohanfoundation.org, या फिर गवर्नमेंट का भी वेबसाइट है noto.org.in. वहां पे भी आपको जिधर कंफर्टेबल लगे वहां जाके प्लेज करिए. Okay, you will get a donor card like this. It's a small visiting card size thing. Print करिए, keep it in your wallet at all times. Most important, चुपचाप आपने प्रिंट आउट निकाल के जेब में रख लिया तो काम नहीं बनेगा. क्या करना होता है? Inform your loved ones. Tell them कि मेरी ये इच्छा है. This is like a living will that you're making. ओके, हम लोग अपने बाकी सब चीजों को इतना संभालते हैं, पैसे, बैंक अकाउंट, हर एक चीज हम पूरा पूरा संभालते हैं. आना पैसा का अपने पास ये डिटेल्स होते हैं और हम लोग वो सब भी बताते हैं अपने बच्चों को, राइट, एज पार्ट ऑफ द विल. बट व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग? योर बॉडी. दैट इज योर बिगेस्ट एसेट, राइट? एंड वी डोंट लीव, वी जस्ट लीव इट इन द एयर. हवे में हम लोग छोड़ देते हैं ये डिसीजंस. बहुत बार फैमिली मेंबर्स को कंफ्यूजन होता है फिर कि मेरे जो ये पिताजी, इनका क्या इच्छा था, मम्मी का इच्छा क्या था, मेरे बच्चों का इच्छा क्या था, मालूम नहीं है. तो वो एक कॉन्वर्जेशन जो है कैन बी ह्यूजली ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव. इट कैन गिव देम दैट क्लैरिटी बिकॉज सो मेनी फैमिलीज कम एंड टेल अस, दे कॉन्टेक्ट अस ऑन अ टोल फ्री हेल्पलाइन. रात को 2 बजे, सुबह 4 बजे कॉल करते हैं, बोलते हैं कि हमारे जो ये रिश्तेदार है, इन लॉज व्हाटएवर, उन्होंने मोहन फाउंडेशन के साथ प्लेज लिया था या उन्होंने ऐसे एक अवेयरनेस टॉक अटेंड किया, उन्होंने ऐसा एक फॉर्म भरा, उनको कार्ड दिया गया और उनकी इच्छा है कि उनको अभी जो भी डोनेट कर सकते हैं आप प्लीज करिए। ये क्यों वो फैमिली ने हमें कांटेक्ट किया? क्योंकि उनका पहले कॉन्वर्जेशन हुआ है। और एंड व्हेन वी आर नो मोर, families go out of their way to honor our wishes. So this is the power of that conversation. और सिर्फ हमें बताना नहीं है, डोनर कार्ड साइन अप करके रखने से फैमिलीज को पता चलता है कि किसको कांटेक्ट करें। क्योंकि इसमें ना देखिए, दिस हैज आवर टोल फ्री हेल्पलाइन नंबर प्रिंटेड ओवर हियर, दिस हैज आवर वेबसाइट। So this is the instrument of communication. Use this for breaking ice with your family members. So this is very important. Pledge your organs. Always carry a donor card with you. It also serves as emergency card. उसमें emergency contact number किसका वो भी आता है। भगवान न करे कुछ भी हो गया रोड पे, at least people can lift it and see कि who is the nearest next of kin, किसको contact करना है। Convey your decision to your family members. And lastly, volunteer your time. A lot of NGOs, we do not have these resources. We are not cash rich. We depend only on donations. So agar aapke paas, if you have an active mind, you have time to spare, we would love to work with you. Please volunteer your time for us. We need more people like you to raise awareness. या फिर कुछ और आपका स्किल है जहां पे हमें फायदा हो सकता है, we'll be more than happy to work with you and take benefit of that. Okay, so this is what we want. Next, yeah, I'm going to end my presentation because मैंने बहुत बकबक कर लिया। अभी Mr. Ulal, shall we take questions now or shall we? How do you want?
Because we have got a couple of our donees as well as donors here. So I thought that first let us hear their experiences. By the time we will get some questions in mind, then we can ask. Is it okay with you? Because our donors and donees are also here. Let them also share their experiences. So we will get more experience. I mean, questions in mind.
Yeah,
so I think that will.
Sure, thank you. So I will hand over the dais to. Yeah, I'm done with my awareness talk. I could either take questions or I can share my own story. Huh? Okay, I'll start with mine. Can you please change? Acha, I also have 2 videos. Can we play the videos, please? This is a video.
Some people have superstitious beliefs that in this life, if I donate my eyes, I might be born blind in my next life. So I'm very lucky because my mom donated one of her kidneys to me and she just wanted me to live. I wonder how many of others are as lucky as I am. I think it's the very vibrancy of life after life. You can continue to see this beautiful world, the greenery around you. And the very fact that your heart is beating in someone else, that person may fall in love once again. Think about organ donation positively because planning to run how much ever I can, rope in as many recipients as I can and proclaim to the world that, hey, look, we're leading normal lives thanks to a second chance, thanks to a gift that someone gave us. Dil de ke dekho types.
Thank you. These were all photos of other recipients, kidney recipient, heart recipient, liver recipient. None of these are fake photos, all are real photos. So just wanted to share that with you. We also have a story of a donor family who donated their loved ones' organs. Yeah.
आप राज के बारे में कुछ बताएं।
मेरे को तो बहुत मम्मी नहीं बोला था, झाड़ी बहन ही बोला था।
हमारी सुबह ही ऐसे होती थी, मारा मारी एक दूसरे के साथ, उसके बिना चलता नहीं था।
कोई भी है, इसको बोलेगा राज मेरे को काम है तो राज बोलेगा मैं आता हूँ।
दूसरे की मदद करने में बहुत इंटरेस्ट था।
सबकी हेल्प करता, जाते जाते भी सबकी हेल्प करते करते गया। सुना तो था, कभी देखा नहीं था, चांस मालूम नहीं था कि इधर ही होगा।
तभी हम डॉक्टर को बोल दिए कि जो डोनर हम करते हैं इसका सेल नहीं होना चाहिए।
We then explained to him that it's perfectly legal and the hospital has done the right thing and that they should not have a doubt in their mind, they should go ahead.
और किसी की जान बच जाती है।
इसमें से कोई भी प्रेरणा लेगा तो ये अच्छा है।
Watch your loved one live through someone else.
किधर ना किधर तो है।
This Raj Gandhi, he passed away in a train accident and he was taken to Lilavati hospital and the families are very confused. They called our helpline and we gave them the confidence to go ahead. So that's how they ended up donating. So I will now take a break. I will request another speaker to come and then I will come back and share my own personal story. I don't want you all to be bored just looking at me. Thoda break chahiye.
Very nice of her, Jaya, fabulous. I think the way she expressed, I think everything must have gone in our mind and all. And it has pierced through her also. So on behalf of all of us, may I request our Vice President Uday Gurkar to just present her, a token filled with love and affection from all of us. Nice. We have got the donors. Yeah, we have got the donors. First, our dear Samir was so blessed that his dear mother, Vinaya Malladi, donated her kidney to him. And you have heard Samir. So, may I request Vinaya Pachita, please come forward and let us know so that our confidence also gets boosted. So as donors, we would like to really know exactly what were your feelings. And after donation, how do you feel? Please, Vinay Pachi, give her a big hand. Thank you. Pachi, thank you. She was asking me कुठल्या भाषेत मी म्हटलं माझी मुंबई
आमचे गेल तितकं जया घ्या ना जया
कंचन कम्फर्टेबल असतं व्हेरी गुड बोलतो सर
ना ना कल्लोलचे काय कळना म्हाका पण खंय येवंका
करेक्ट
नाका नाका कल्ले उरले चुकल्यार क्षम करा ती फर्स्ट टाइम इन माय लाईफ सो डोनेट करचे म्हणून एक डॉक्टराने आयडिया दिली त्याप्रमाणे आम्ही कल चेकअप पुरा केल्ले चिके मन भय दिसले कल जातले की कल्ले म्हाका सिकनेस म्हण ना कल्ले ऑपरेशन ना कल्ले ना कल जातलो म्हाका अशें भय दिसले कडेरी जाल्ले आनी तुका की देवान धैर्य दिले सो डोनेशन जाल्ले ही इज ऑल्सो ओके आणि म्हाका एकदम 5th डे ची डिस्चार्ज केले आय वॉज ओके कल्ले म्हाका कल्ले सिकनेस नाशिल्ले मी वगी जाले सो ताका एक लाईफ मेळटलें 17 years onwards he was taking dialysis आणि ताका सफरिंग आमी पळयलें. इट वॉज अनबेरेबल. कडेर 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 व्हेरी मोव त्रास जातालो. सो कोणाकय सांगू काय नाही, तांतल्या तान घेवच्या काय नाही अशी परिस्थिती आशिल्ली. तरी डॉक्टर म्हणाल मग मॅच जायनाशिल्ले सेल्स. ते प्लाझ्मा फेरोसिस केल्यार जाता म्हणून. सो दॅट वी डिसायडेड चिकेक हें जाल्लें. मागीर हानी पुराय मोहन फाउंडेशन हानी पुराय हेल्प केल्ले. सो सक्सेस जाल्ले देवाल दयेने. सो आत आनीकल सांगचें देवान धैर्य दिल्ले जाल्ले म्हाका लय प्रॉब्लेम जायना. इवन नाव आय एम ओके.
Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of all of us and also the viewers, my request our Vice President Uday Gurkarman to please come forward and just give a token of appreciation, love and blessings to Uday Apache, because there are senior members also here. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a very, very powerful speech personality with us. He has played for Mumbai. He has been the top personality in Tata Group of the companies. And you have seen during this foundation day also that how nicely he actually narrated the story of many of you may be there. That one week 3 questions from that Bolinath. So may I request Bharat Nagani to please come forward and give us the confidence of being a donor in life. He has donated his kidney to his elder brother Shrikant, but unfortunately God had different plans. So may I request Bharat to come forward and share his experiences.
Thank you. Yeah, give me 1 minute. Yes, in fact, आमची कल्याणी चुलेता. In fact, my brother, elder brother, and our Amchigale is, there are more English words than Amchigale words. So you will be able to know also. In fact, Mughal Hod Bhau, he was a good sportsman and he was an excellent engineer also. And he has even risen to a very high level in Tata Motors earlier. And later on, he was with Eicher Motors as a executive director with them, technical director. Takkal Dalil Malari, right from the birth, a kidney developed initially. And that was always a worry to my parents always. And he was actually living a very normal life. He was working almost regularly. He was a good sportsman also. Sunil also knows so many times table tennis, cricket. He was a good sports person, but he was more into engineering. And then later on, he started his own venture in Hyderabad. And when he used to work little extra hours or something like that. But when he was having a one kidney, my parents were always worried about his health and all those things. But he was quite normal. There was never a particular thing. But I could see the tension in our parents' minds, always. Whenever he is going in engineering, he did his engineering from Sangli Engineering College. So he was staying away from us. So always my mother was very much worried about his particular health and everything. Later on, when he started his own venture, then slowly his other kidney started giving him a problem. And now the problem was having only one kidney was not developed at all. And when the problem started, my father was there. here, but he was alive that time. This was around, say, 2007, 2008, around that time. So immediately the moment he was having that problem, immediately I told my father that I want to give my kidney to him because that is the only chance for him as a survival actually. My father initially objected. He said, no, you are a sportsman, you have a healthy life. Why you should pay? I said, no, but at least I got two kidneys. He's having only one. And again, the kidney is giving him problem. And I don't mind giving, and I will know, I will see that how to lead a healthy life, that I will manage. My father was not very much in that particular decision, but he kept it to himself. But immediately I told my brother, I called him and said, I want to go. I went to Hyderabad and I told him that I want to give the will. He said, first, you talk to your wife, you talk to your daughter, get their consent. The moment I told my wife and my daughter, they were very much happy. They said, you're very good. This is the best decision what you are taking. Because this is the only way you can really save him. But slowly he was not ready. I don't want it. You are leading a very healthy life. I don't want it. I will manage somehow. Let us see what happens. But slowly it started deteriorating. In 2011, we lost our father in August. But before that also, my father was very happy when I was telling him that, yes, I want to give it. But my brother was not at all ready. But when my father died, that time when he came from Hyderabad to Mumbai, that time I put my foot forward because that time he was really little deteriorating. So I said no, and he had to his, periodic dialysis. That particular thing also started. Every time, some few days, he had to go for dialysis and all. But then immediately I told him, no, nothing doing. Now we have to do. And then he also was ready from his mind also. Immediately, both of us went to Hyderabad. We did all the tests because that immunization and all those things was required and everything was done. It was practically that, yes, my kidney is quite compatible to him also. And that is how we decided. In fact, we had so many of particular jokes, lighter veins, humor always was there. Because I am fond of beer. He never used to have beer. So I always used to tell him, see, now I'm giving you my kidney. So you promise me that every Saturday you are going to have beer. Because my kidney is used to it. Yes. So I said, yes, my kidney is used to it. So you should have every Saturday, you must have a glass of beer. I said, for my kidney, not for me. We used to have such a wonderful lighter moment, all those things. Then ultimately, a relay came. My kidney was taken away. It was put on him. And we were almost, both of us were having anesthesia. And immediately when kidney was given to him, he was very normal, nicely, slowly. The doctors also told us that it's a very successful surgery. And everything, you are also quite okay. He is also quite okay. And both of us were under that particular anesthesia. That particular thing was there. But deliberately they brought both our cords together. And both of us hold the hand nicely. So let us meet later on. And that is how practically the last time I hold his hand. And then what happened? He was shifted. I was also shifted somewhere else. And then early morning, he had a massive heart attack. And then he could not really have a. But one thing I have a solace that he died happy that he had a kidney. Now he is going to lead a healthy life. That was good enough. I still remember when he took me to Hyderabad when we were going for tests and all those things. He took me to that dialysis, that particular thing. And there were so many of his friends. All of them were there having dialysis. So he introduced to each one of them to me and said, my brother, he brought kidney for me. He got kidney from me. And that is how practically he brought it. But unfortunately, he could not practically come with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bharat. Actually, that was so were excellent sports persons. And Bharat did not mention about another quality of Shrikant. He was an excellent actor.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, with all of you must be knowing Isha Kopikar, who acted in her father Atul and Shrikant used to always hit the,
Yes,
you know, any drama they act, they used to actually just win the hearts of the audience.
Yeah.
That was the greatest quality of Shrikant. So may I request the group, please. Sorry, Uday, you know how to because we have got 5 people. So yeah. So thank you very much. Bharat. This is a small gift of our token of your appreciation and Saraswat courage. Thank you. Now, let us have something to know about our Kalmukari Guru, our dear Samir Halari. I call him Sam always. It's a fantastic because I feel young, you know, when I call him Sam because he's got very rich knowledge which he shares regularly with us. So I call him a spirited Samir Halari, a senior marketing professional with more than 25 years of experience, post his MBA from a recognized university. After completing MBA, Samir was doing very well when his kidneys failed. And he started on dialysis in 2002. He never gave up, started working for top corporates after his own startup agency. Due to some reasons, he had to stop his business. He then joined a small job at a junior level and rose to head that digital marketing agency within 7 years. He used to work full time and take dialysis at late nights. He also had passion for hiking and photography. He founded a hiking group called We Hikers, which has more than 750 members even today. A big hand to him. Great, Kanara. A very active and effective organizing member of KSA right from his childhood. Does peer counseling for kidney patients since last 17 plus years. Samir had kidney transplant in 2019 when his dear mother Vinaya Haladi donated her kidney to him at her age of 70. Great, Vinaya Bachi. During COVID, he was in forefront of relief activities. He launched the services of OLA emergency, that is OLA, and Uber essentials that were designed to help patients reach hospitals during lockdown period. That is indomitable spirit and enthusiasm. Samir was recently felicitated jointly by Times of India and MOHAN Foundation for being a role model as a kidney patient who works and lives an active life. That's Samir Haladi. Samir, would you mind sharing your experiences, please?
Hello. Okay. For me, it's an emotional moment because this is where I have lived. This is where I have grown up. This is like my karma bhumi. And it is really a special moment for me to be standing here and sharing with each one of you. I'm sure a lot of you are privy to what I have gone through, but a lot of you might not also be aware that what it took for me to go through all of that. It was very difficult. So when I first was told that I will have to be on dialysis for the rest of my life, it was heartbreaking. But thanks to my parents, I have grown up in a very spiritual environment. And the first thing that I did was I went on Mount for 3 days. And I think that gave me a lot of strength to face whatever I had to face for the next so many years. And then I took it in my stride. I was always, okay, I had a very good job then. Overnight, I was told to resign because they felt that I couldn't take the pressure. I proved them wrong subsequently because, the boss who had told me to quit, I met him as a customer maybe a few years later, and I won the pitch for their company. And then he actually apologized to me, but that's a different story altogether. And then I'm not somebody who will give up. So I started my own agency. I worked with good corporates like Mahindra, Standard Chartered, and they did very good work. Then I thought I want to expand. So I started printing, and Nagarman Mom is here. He has really helped me when I started my printing venture. I made mistakes there. I lost a lot of money. And then I had to stop that agency because I couldn't take it further. After that, for a year, I was doing nothing. And then there was something called Orkut. I don't know if how many of you remember Orkut. So I have this penchant for very funny one-liners. And a lot of PJs I keep cracking all the time. So in fact, all my friends, when talking, if I don't crack a PJ, they ask me, what is wrong with you today? So Orkut ka Chirkut is I created an ID there, and I used to crack a lot of one-liners. And it became such a rage that there were fan communities dedicated to me. So that was my first tryst with creating a brand online. And then while I had just gone to meet somebody, Mr. Vikas Tandon, he had a blog called Cash Cow. And in the conversation, he made me an offer of a job. It was a very junior level job, something that would typically be going for a fresh BMM graduate. And I was somebody who had actually taught BMM students. But then for me, it was an opportunity. So I took it up. I think I did well. I learned a lot of things about digital marketing. I saw the whole field grow, the domain. And I think I would be one of the pioneers in that field. So when I joined, there was nothing but websites and little bit of search. I started the media planning and buying function in my company. I started the whole concept of social media. In fact, social media is something that I had created my brand of Orkut ka Chirkut. And a lot of things, and I kept learning. So next company I joined, I learned about data analytics, big data, marketing automation, campaign management, and all of that. Then social media started becoming really big. Today, anything that is digital, the first thing that comes to mind is social media marketing. Honestly, that is just a fraction of social media, of digital marketing. But yes, it has become a synonym for digital marketing. So then social listening became very important, and social CRM and all these fields, online reputation management. I learned all of it on the job. And I got the opportunity to create a syllabus for a couple of big institutions, colleges, etc. I used to travel all the way to Pune, etc. to conduct weekend classes and weekend courses, short-term courses. So I used to actually take dialysis on Friday night, finish at 2 a.m. Early morning, I used to 6 a.m. I used to start from Mumbai. I used to drive down to Pune. I used to teach Saturday and Sunday, standing the whole day. The classes used to be 10 to 1, 2 to 5. I used to stand the whole day. Sakal Institute. So Sakal Institute used to offer me a nice accommodation. They were kind enough. I used to spend the day there. Next Sunday also, I used to teach and drive back to Mumbai. One thing that I did was, by this time I became famous. So I don't know, I have a good network, and some friends in the media felt that I deserved some recognition. So people started calling me, and they started with small bites or quotes, and then they started writing features on me, my story, etc. So if you search for my name on Google, you'll find a lot of material about me. So what happened was, when this started happening, I started getting calls from other patients. And I used to go out and help, in the sense, guide on how I lived my life and how they could, make maybe small changes to their lifestyle and face the situation better. Obviously, there is no cure for it. You can, so as I keep saying, we don't have a choice what life has in store for us, but we definitely have a choice how we can face the situation. And that is all we have actually. So we have to do it better. And by the grace of God, I was successful in my career as well. So I kept growing, and I think it was rare. And I kept, I mean, whoever, I don't know, people, I don't know where they get my number from. They keep contacting me and I keep guiding them. And that is my seva towards society. I don't do it for money. Because when I started on dialysis, there was nobody to guide me. And when people contact me, I feel it is my bounden duty to guide them. Because I don't want anybody to go through what I have gone. Dialysis is very difficult. Today, when I look back on the days, there were times when, so I used to go for dialysis alone, come back alone. And sometimes at night, the taxiwalas, they're not ready to take you home. There were times when I used to walk home from Jaslok Hospital or Saifi Hospital at 2:30 a.m. in the night. And it was, I'm sorry, Ketan. It was not easy, but I lived through it. I fought through it. My parents always supported me. So when hiking was something that I always did and I loved doing. So when I expressed to my mother that I want to go hiking again, she just said, if you're feeling confident, go. And I was feeling confident. So I started going, and I have this knack of getting people together. And it started with a small circle of, say, 4-5 people who started hiking. And then Facebook was just starting. So everybody started posting pictures. And then we said the crowd started growing. We said, let us give ourselves a name. So we called it We Hikers. And We Hikers started taking off. And I really don't know how it happened. It was all happening. But okay, it was my passion that was driving it. I love the mountains. I mean, it was a way for me to move out of this painful procedure. It was a leeway for me to feel free. And even today, when I don't know, okay, my friends who I go for road trips today. I got a tendon injury in my right knee. Patella is inflamed, and it is not healing because of so many years on dialysis. But then I can't hike now, but I do go for road trips, and I pursue my photography. I love nature photography, and I also do candids. I've done candids for weddings also. But so one thing I felt was that you should follow your passion, and then that keeps you living, that keeps you going. The pain is there. You can't do anything about it, but then you have to overcome the pain. And if you follow your passions, it becomes so much easier to overcome your pain. So when COVID happened, I had just undergone a transplant. My mother, great mother, she, I mean, at her age of, in fact, both my parents. So I had contracted hepatitis C virus, and that genotype 1. When I contracted it, there was no reliable treatment for that virus. So I said, let us wait, and I kept going. And 2018, my doctor told me, now that there is a reliable treatment, why don't you take it and eliminate the virus? We did that, and then we thought that instead of waiting for a cadaver, we should maybe go for a live organ. Both my parents were more than enthusiastic. They were underwent the test, but my mother's fitness was far higher than my father's. So my mother said that she will donate, and we went through it. I can imagine what my father was going through, because both of us were on the table, and he was alone at home. It must have been really tough on him, but all of us went through it together. My sister in the US, she was staying there alone, and she used to coordinate all the people who could sit in the hospital and be there with us. And she used to not sleep at nights and do all of this coordination. So I can imagine what my sister and my father went through. I think all the family stood by me, even my relatives, my mom and my pachis and all. They were all there, and they used to actually literally, vie with each other to sit in the hospital and be there with us. I think, and I said MOHAN Foundation, and I don't know if you remember, Jaya, and you kept saying that, when I appealed for a donation, the kind of amounts that were coming in were very huge. So like typically when people request for a donation, you get say $500, $1,000, right? In my case, I think the least amount that was donated to for my surgery was 20K. Because I don't know for what reason, maybe because, they say that if you do good, then the good comes back to you. I really believe because, I have been spiritual. I have taken Diksha from Ramnagar at the age of 12. And you won't believe it, whenever I had a problem of fund and I didn't have money for my next dialysis, I don't know where, but it used to come in. And it was all divine grace that I'm alive today. Maybe there is some purpose that God has in mind for me, that He has kept me alive and fit even after 17 years of dialysis. And today I'm still, going strong. Now, after my transplant, COVID happened. It was a very difficult situation for me because I was really scared. I was immunosuppressed, very highly immunosuppressed, because it was just immediately after COVID. And I really wanted to make a difference. It was hurting that a lot of friends of mine couldn't take dialysis because of the lockdown. So I did something through a friend who was ex-DGP of Lucknow of UP. He contacted Parambir Singh ji. He was then police commissioner of Mumbai. And we had a conference call. And he was kind enough to depute a DSP. And I had the direct number of the DSP. And a lot of times patients, what we also did was we got the list of patients who were taking dialysis from every hospital, and it was there in the police office and it was there with me. And so if at all police at any junction stop patients from reaching the hospital, I used to get a call from patients and I used to call up the police commissioner, and then they used to get released. And that's DSP, sorry. DCP, sorry. So this DCP was so helpful that he used to always take my calls, even if he was in some important meeting. And I think that saved lives, You remember, Jaya, there was a guy who used to live in Goti, and his immunosuppressants were available only in Nasik. And he had to go to Nasik to buy because his medicines were over. And he called me from some junction on the highway. And, I called up the DCP and we could, set it through. Again, I think biggest achievement was I talked directly with the top management of Ola and Uber and could, by grace of God, get services like Ola Emergency and Uber Essentials going. In fact, the whole list of database of dialysis centers all over India, I have provided to these companies, and I didn't want credit for them, but I am happy that because of my efforts, at least these services were there all over India, and for not only for kidney patients, but all kinds of patients. If you look at the data, the amount of deaths that happened due to non-COVID related issues were far higher than the number of deaths that happened due to COVID in those times. And because of this service, I think a lot of people were able to reach hospital in time for their treatment. And I think at least thousands of lives would have got saved. I feel very proud that I could do that. And I keep working. So, Jaya and myself, we work a lot together. And she has always been helpful. So we know that we are working for a cause, and the cause is about institutions or individuals. I think that has always been important for me. So I have been associated with Amar Gandhi Foundation, and they have really been supportive of me. Even Jaya has been supportive. And for me personally, I don't have the funds or the wherewithals to start an NGO of my own, but I think I'm doing decent work. So latest work that I'm doing is, what I observed is that the biggest problem that any kidney patient faces is the recurring costs, and people don't have that money to keep spending that much to keep themselves alive. So what I've started doing is, if some patient is good enough, capable enough to start a venture, I help them with my marketing expertise. and help them to start earning a living by themselves in terms of not a job, but maybe they have to come with a business idea. They have to, I will guide them how to tweak it and all of that. So there was a friend, a couple of friends, I don't want to name them here, but they started an agarbatti brand. They did the legwork. So they did a lot of research about the agarbatti market. They developed the supplier, they developed the people, and when the branding part, I helped them, doing the design and everything, packaging, they did it, but I guided them. Today, by grace of God, I'm also an influencer on social media. I have a good following on Twitter, I have a decent following on Facebook. So I used my personal reach to get business for them. And in the first campaign that we did on Twitter, we could earn them 25,000 worth of business in a single day. And that was a kickstart to their agarbatti business. Secondly, I worked with one content writer. So I'm doing these kind of things, and I want to take it up in a bigger, grander scale so that it can help more and more patients start earning money and fund their own treatment. I think once you are funding your treatment, having money in your pocket gives so much of confidence and the ability to face the situation in a far better manner, rather than having to go and beg for money. Arey, mere ko next dialysis ke liye paisa nahi hai. It hurts the self-confidence, it hurts the self-esteem, and it also kills your inside, yourself. कि कितना मांगेंगे किसी से. So the idea is to empower people to start earning and feel more confident, and it will help face the situation better. I think that, I believe, is the key to helping patients live better. And I don't know, this is something that I've started. Maybe God will give me the direction to take it to a bigger scale. He has done this so many years, and I'm sure if somebody wants to help me, please, I'm happy that I will, we need all the support from everybody concerned. But this is my genuine attempt at helping empower kidney patients and be Atmanirbhar, so to say. This is my short story. I can keep talking about this for hours, but I really thank Sunil Ma'am for giving me an opportunity. I'm getting emotional because this is my home ground. I have been a honorary joint secretary in KSA for 4 years. Shobhan Kachi knows. And I have been active in KSA right from my childhood. I was a student committee member in my school days. And so for me, this is like my home ground, and that is why I'm getting more emotional. I'm sorry if, I am sort of just crossing that boundary, but it's a very, very important feeling. I'm feeling very nice about it. Thanks, Sunil Ma'am.
Thank you very much, Samir. Was absolutely spoken out of his heart, and I has absolutely touched our hearts also. May I request on behalf of all of us, to come forward and please present the session all the blessings from everyone, viewers as well as those physically present here. Saraswat Association. Thank you very much. I'm trying to Samir.
Secretary.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, Hemant, I said treasurer. He was a treasurer, but immediately also he was taken up this building secretary also. So he's in charge of the building also. Thank you, Hemant. Now they said that the last quarter of this tournament, the great tournament, the MOHAN Foundation organized organ donation awareness program. None other than ambitious Anirudh Nancy. I'll tell you something which is very, very important for all of us to know. Anirudh, R.A. Pudar College of Commerce and Economics student, option degree of Bachelor of Commerce, BCom from Mumbai University. He's got a wonderful wife, a daughter, a son-in-law, granddaughter, 9 years, a daughter-in-law, a beautiful family. Is at the moment self-employed. About him, he is only going to pass, so I'm not going to just express about that. I will talk about now country sports and the rest we will hear from Anirudh. Because he is a great sportsman, I thought of having Anirudh here all the way. Swimming, mainly. He is representing Scholar College University in swimming. Represented College Mumbai University, Maharashtra State in water polo in senior nationals from 78 to 86. Won gold, silver, and bronze medals in the above meets. Represented India in water polo in the year 1979 at Colombo and got gold medal. A big hand for that. Member of Indian water polo team of Iran in the year 1984. Presently participated in swim clinics and OSWIM, Australian Certified Coaching Programs. Is participated in swimming meets for masters in MIG, Matunda Gymkhana, Autos Club, and JVPG. Won 5 medals in the above meets. Coaching swimming to kids, homemakers, and grandmothers in his building swimming pool. He has also ran marathons. He has joined Run India Run, a club which coaches and promotes long distance and marathon comrades running. He's participated in 5-kilometer Krishna Marathon held in November 2022 and Tata Marathon Run representing cardiac rehabilitation team led by Dr. Ashish, contractor of HN Reliance Foundation Hospital in the month of January 2023. Cricket, very interesting thing for us. Represented Berda New High School in Harrisville, then R.A. Poddar College from 71 to 81. Represented Bombay University in West Zone, rowing and Barrier Trophy. Representing MC Coles in various tournaments held in Mumbai from 82 to 83. Represented Shivaji Park Youngsters Club for 10 years and Karnataka Sporting Association for 10 years in A Division, Kanga League and other tournaments. Represented Central Bank of India and Mumbai Customs in Council A and B Division and other corporate tournaments. Qualified as level 1 coach from National Cricket Academy in the year 2004. Is attending at the moment coaching beyond Bueller's Clinic from 11 to 13 November 22. And at Chennai, he has done that course. Fielding and wicket-keeping courses in Chennai in the month of March 2023. There's the latest things. So that's Anirudh Dansi, a very, very close friend of Ravi Shastri, the great man, Shishu Hatangri, our Bharat Nalkani, and our Saraswat great coach, Bhaskar Nagarkoti, who is in Kerala. You know, Dr. Uday Anda's senior citizen home is there. A very, very good friend. When he comes to know about Anirudh Nancy, he starts laughing like anything because they have got something in common. I don't know what they share with each other. So let's hear something from Anirudh Nancy. A big hand for him.
I don't need that.
Hey, no.
Am I audible right now?
Your voice is like Muhammad Rafi.
Muhammad Rafi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you very much, Sunil Lal, for inviting me for this Kanara Saraswat Association presentation for the donation drive, heart donation drive, kidney donation drive, liver donation drive, and awareness. Last time when I met him, I think maybe a month or 2 ago, in fact, I told him, I said, basically, I've undergone a heart transplant and I'm basically representing Heart Transplantation. I'm trying to do some kind of a lot of interaction with the people who are basically wanting to do a heart transplant. People don't have the courage to do so. I go and meet people. I have a road show and all. I speak to some people when I run. Yeah, I go to the houses of people and try to, bring a kind of a confidence in them. Okay, what is the life before and after the transplant? So that's the most important thing. I don't want to get into much into heart transplant because she has explained everything, the donation, who are the donors, the deceased donors and the live donors. Apart, what I want to speak about myself, not even about myself. What I want you to basically bring, I think this, I won't be comfortable with this. Stay here.
Use this time. Aram se.
Is it okay now? Okay. All right. So I know first and foremost, so she asked a friend of mine, Parag Vora, that basically, will you donate your organ? He's sitting over there. And he said, yes. Will you donate your heart to anybody? No, that is, that can be, that nobody can say that no, who donates to anyone. That's something it's oblivion. In fact, nobody knows about it. But that too also basically passing away, no, you have to be brain dead. You can't just donate a heart like that. It has to be a brain dead. They only can do it. So that's what is the technicality of the donation of the heart is. But coming back to heart donation is concerned is something which is very rare in this country. People do not donate heart as much as they donate kidneys and livers. Of course, the awareness has gone up a lot as far as the heart is concerned because, the awareness, there are a lot of kind of donation drives, there are a lot of runs, a lot of organizations are promoting kidney donation, liver donation, heart donation, lungs donation, and all these things. So I think it's getting much better. And I think it's getting more and more people are coming forward to donate heart. But donating a heart is something which is basically, I don't know, which I could never think of it. When I was living, when I was playing, I played so much competitive sports. When I fell, I had a cardiomyopathy in 2009. That is the time I realized that basically my heart is gone. My heart was absolutely gone. I was detected with cardiomyopathy in 2009. And my heart was pumping only 20 to 25% of EVF that time. And that time my kids were small. I mean, I was just 48 years old that time. I was just growing up and, I was working. So basically my doctor had told me very clearly that you have a cardiomyopathy, dilated cardiomyopathy, and you cannot work, you resign, you cannot go anywhere else. You have restricted movements. You can't go more than 200 meters in periphery of your building, of your house. You can work, do your self-employed, whatever, but you have to stop everything. Now, that was something a very, very difficult decision for me to take that time in 2009 because the kids were small. I had so many responsibility. I had to go through finances, so many issues. Kids were studying, so many things. But apart from that, so 2009, so I gave him this thing. I said, doctor, give me something which I can basically, improve upon it and I can get better because I cannot afford to just be around the vicinity in 200 meters because I won't get a job at 50. So subsequently, my cardiologist was Dr. Yash Lokanwala. He's supposed to be a very famous cardiologist. He does a lot of CRTs and he does a lot of implants in this. So he does the pacemaker implants and CRTs. So he told me that basically you do a CRT. He implanted a CRT in me in 2009 in Holy Family Hospital. And then subsequently that does not improve your heart. It only basically, gives you a kind of a support saying that basically you will do something, you can do something better, you can do some more activities or whatever all said and done. So that was it. That was initially in 2009. Then subsequently I was operated again in 2014. I had a huge operation because one of my lead came out. So therefore I had to go through a Holy Family and I had to undergo a vitrectomy, which is supposed to be another very, very severe operation. So that was the life that was going on that time. But subsequently, I was told in 2009 that ultimately, if not today or tomorrow, you'll have to undergo a heart transplant. In 2019, it went on. I was pulling on whatever all said and done. Things were tough, hard, but we have to live with it. And 2019, I started getting, it was getting more because it came down. The function of EVF came down to 12%. It was 12.5% working. And that time the doctor told me, I said, you have no other choice but to go to a heart transplant. Otherwise, you'll be in hospital every second month, third month, because you have a lot of restriction when you have a cardiomyopathy. You are not supposed to drink water. You can only drink 1.5 liters water a day. That includes your chai, includes your sambar, dal, everything, and normal water as well. And for that, I lived for 12 years, from 2009 to 2020 till I got my heart transplant done. But it's a tough situation. It's a hard one. All said and done. Everything happened. What was to be happened, it happened. 2020, I was told, and I was given a warning. I said, if you do not do heart transplant, Anirudh, you are not going to live the life you want to live. So I then, basically, it was something, a hard decision for me to take. So before a transplant, you have to qualify. It is not like something, it's not a straight donation. It is like a qualify. You have to go to a workup. It's called a workup. You get admitted in the hospital. You have a test for 7 days, all organs of your body, all the tissues, everything, all functions, all testings are being done. And only if other organs of your body are functioning well, then only subsequently, basically, you qualify for a transplant. And when they qualify for a transplant, they see to it that basically whether you survive a transplant. Because transplant is not difficult. Transplant you can be done by anybody. It's like a normal surgery. But the most important part is post-transplant. Now that is supposed to be a person can survive. You got to be hard. You got to be regimented. You got to be extremely disciplined to live a life after a heart transplant. I don't know about the kidney transplant and liver transplant, but as far as heart transplant is concerned, I can narrate my own story that you got to be absolutely regimented, take medicine at the right time. So 2020, January, I had a workup. They did workup in HN Reliance Hospital. Dr. Anvay Mule and team is supposed to be heart transplant specialist. They operated upon me. They did all the workup, all the testing, and they qualified me. And you get enrolled. It is not like there is no live. It's a deceased donor. There will be live transplant. So you have to wait for someone, basically wait in the queue. So then you qualify, then you are enrolled in Roto, Soto, and Noto. There are three. One is regional, one is state, one is a national. So you get basically enrolled in that. You are in the queue. And then subsequently, basically, whenever there is kind of a donation or maybe a donor, a brain dead person wants to donate a heart, then subsequently they come back to you and they'll tell you, okay, fine, you qualify for it. But even though if you are listed number one, you may not be a person who will get a heart when a deceased wants to donate a heart, because your heart has to match, has to be compatible to the person who's donating a heart. It is not something which is like straight away you can get it like that and you see it. It's a huge procedure. Your height, your weight, your blood, your group, there are other things, other parts of your body, they all have to match. Then only basically you qualify for a heart transplant to somebody, give you a heart, a donor, and the recipient come into picture. So I was basically enrolled in 2020, January. And Roto Noto, I got a heart in the month of December 7th, 2020. But before that, now this 12 months period, basically, I was living with the same way what I should live, waiting, kabhi aane wala hai, kabhi milega, kya milega. It's only basically you are on a question mark. I was called twice to the hospital. Twice to the hospital I was called. Once in July when pandemic was in full swing. And I was called to the hospital and I was told there's a donor in Pune who wants to give a heart. You please come over. Actually, I was petrified on that day. In July 2020, I was petrified and I was scared literally. I said, what do I do? But I don't know. I just spoke to a few people. I spoke to my daughter, spoke to my son, my wife. I told him, let's go. And I picked up and I went. I was a little bit scared. But then by the time I reached the sea, I live in Nandheri, Lokalmala. But I could see, I come early sea phase. I got a call from the doctor. I said, the donor doesn't want to donate the heart. You please go back. So though I went to the hospital, touched there. They took my sample. I went back again. Again, I was called in August. There could be possibility of a heart, possibly get ready for it. I said, okay, I'm ready, no problem. 2020 in December 7th. This is today's 9th. 7th December in the afternoon at 3:34, I got a call from a doctor. I said, Mr. Nancy, get ready. I said, what happened? I said, heart has come. So I picked up my bag. I told my wife, chalo jayega. Utaya bag, nikla, told my son, drive me off. He drove me to the Harkinath hospital, took the sample, my blood. My heart was coming from Goa. Now, the disease was a boy who was 21-year-old who died of a road accident in a motorbike accident, and he was in the hospital in Goa. So the heart basically matched with me, and therefore, I was called. So I reported there. I went to the hospital. It is only a call. You just get a call. I said, chalo, let's go. Are you ready? You can refuse it. See, there is a refusal. Even at the time of transplant, even they take you to an operation theater, you have a right to refuse. It is not that something you have to agree to it. But you can. But then I just picked up that to go. God's grace, whatever, all said and done, everything lined up. All said and 2007, the heart came from Goa. Now, the heart, I must tell you something about the heart, which she said, technicality of it. But I must say about the heart, that the heart, once it is received, it has been removed from the donor's body. It has to be sewn in the man's body, the donor's recipient, within 3 hours. 3 hours is the time. Okay, so whether it is coming from, say Mia Road, it is coming from closer by, I understand it can go. But to come from Goa now, which is a huge distance, it's a big distance. So I had to charter the flight. The flight was chartered. They removed the heart. Even while removing the heart, the person who was operating me, Dr. Anvay Mule, he sees the photograph, he sees everything, he makes it compatible, he sees that everything tallies. Then only he'll ask the surgeon to remove the heart from the donor's body. Before that, the heart will not be removed. Then they remove it, takes it out, they bring it in the way they pack it, they bring it straight. They cannot, the heart has to be straight. There is kind of a container, they pack it in and they bring it in. So they flew it from there. It came in the morning, 8 morning in the morning, came to the airport, then the green corridor. 8 morning I was then operated. The operation goes on for 16 hours. It's a long operation. Then basically then you're sleeping, so you know nothing is happening. When you wake up after, woke up after 48 hours. And then subsequently, basically, I mean, I just talking to the people around, doctors around everywhere, all said and done. And doctor said, how are you feeling? I said, doctor, I don't know. I'm just now I was sleeping all this time. So the first thing I told doctor, 12 years, I only drank 1.5 liters of water. So they were in front of I was sleeping in the bed and there was a kind of a table there. And there were a bottle of, these small bottle of water there, 20, 30 of them. So my doctor, वो पानी पी सकता है क्या मैं? डॉक्टर बोला मांगता उतना पी सकता है. बोलता मांगता उतना पियो. बोला डॉक्टर सच बोलो, I asked you last time, can I drink water? I said, as much as you want. You won't believe. My sister बोला, sister सब बाटली खोलो. All bottles were open. Of course, you open the bottle in different manner. Of course, not the water bottle. You open something else, right? But Mela cools that bottle. Well, I must have drank 10 to 15 bottles of water there and there itself. So that was basically I came back and then subsequently remained in the hospital for 21 days. You have to undergo a lot of things because they monitor you all the time because it has to match. There are so many other things happen. And subsequently I was discharged. And after 21 days in the hospital, came home. You have to be in a 3 months, you have to be in isolation. You cannot go outside. You cannot meet anybody. You have to be in the room. And the isolation, 3 months in the isolation. I got COVID in when I was in the isolation. When I came outside a little bit here and there, I got COVID. So COVID हो गया तो in fact नीचे गया, रिक्शा पकड़ा गया, hospital में admit हो गया, वापिस आ गया. That's how it was. So that's what basically, I mean, dealt how things were happening. So my point is subsequently is now after a transplant, my life is what you are seeing in front of me, in front of you. I'm here to basically, I mean, not educate, but I'm here to, set an example for people who have undergone these kind of problems, who have to think, the parents, the family members, they are thinking, I said, what will be their life after a transplant? That is the most important thing. Transplant to hota hai, sabhi ka hota hai. Transplant is not a big thing, it's a surgery. But what is your life after transplant? So after transplant, let me tell you one thing that basically, of course, there was a pandemic. So 1 year, so basically I was nothing happening. But subsequently, I've started running, I've started swimming, I'm competing, I'm doing coaching, I'm doing my consultancy, I'm doing everything all said and done. I'm driving, I'm traveling. I go, my daughter lives in US. I go over there and go and meet the people. So life is absolutely normal after transplant. It is something which is by grace of God and thankful to the donor and the family. Was basically, I mean, the family, I must thank them first and foremost about everyone else. Because if they would not have been there, I would not have been speaking in front of you right now at the moment. So that is first aspect. But the most important aspect is that you must have a courage to do that. It is always a life which is after transplant is a very good life. A man can live a life of a normal person when he was living at 30, 40, and 50 years old. And that was something a man looks at. Apart from the man, the family looks at it because the family goes through the grind. The family goes through all the hell. Family goes through suffering. They are the one, the kids are watching you, the wife is watching you, the other family members are saying, they are sympathetic towards you. I said, kya bichare ka haal ho gaya, this, that, and all said and done. That's all gone. The other medicines go off. Of course, you have to take immunosuppressant, that goes part of it. They all must be taking it, I'm sure about it. It depends. But the point is the life after transplant is fantastic. Let me tell you that very, very clearly. And everybody can enjoy whatever they've done, whatever they've left. I'm doing marathon. I want to run harder because I've never ran in my life. I swam, I played squash, everything all said and done. But I've not ran. So I want to complete something which I've not done to make it a complete circle. That's how it is. That's what my wife is. And I request everyone. And even now, I said, even I've told her when I met her last time in Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital, when last time there was I said, any person basically is suffering from these kind of illness, suffering on these kind of diseases. Anybody wants to, stalk and they want to see what is a man. किसका ट्रांसप्लांट आदमी किसको देखा है क्या किसने, तो मेरे को लेके जाओ, मेरे को बुलाओ, 24/7 आई एम अवेलेबल, आई एम ऑन द कॉल and I can speak to people. I go to houses and try to give them a courage that you must have live a life. I gave to 2 people, I went to their houses. One boy has survived. Unfortunately, the other person died because he was very, very, basically timid and he was not willing to do it. He was living in Santa Cruz. And I went to his house, spoke to the entire family. I was there with them for 2 hours, and they agreed to go for a transplant, but they went to Chennai. It was a different story altogether, but he didn't survive. He passed away. That's apart. But the point is, if in this life, if I can give a life to somebody by even talking and by even expressing myself, me in front of him gives them a courage to do something, to live a better life for the family. I'm most welcome. You're most welcome. My number is with Sunil. You can always take my numbers, and I'm there to help out the society in whatever capacity I can. Thank you very much. By the way, I forgot to say a few things. As the Kanara Saraswat Association, I'm associated with from my childhood. Where the best of the 2 friends are, one is Hatangadi. Hatangadi is yours, right?
Yes.
So Shishir Hatangadi is an ex-Bombay captain. He's my childhood friend. The other gentleman is sitting here, Mr. Pradeep Divgikar. This gentleman he also represented state and India in water polo. He's an international volleyball player. He's an Greater Mumbai Swimming Association president, and he's my childhood friend. Okay, he's the man who was with me all the time when I was basically, going through all this hell, and he's the one who's a big support to me. He's my spine. So thank you very much. In front of everyone, I'm saying thank you once again to Pradeep and Sushil, of course, because I used to go to their house very often. They used to live in Warden Road, so mother-in-law used to speak your language, so I know a little bit. थोड़ा मालूम है, थोड़ा bad word भी मालूम है, लेकिन ऐसा बोल नहीं सकता मैं. Problem है. So anyway, thank you very much for everything. Bhaskar bhai, if Bhaskar bhai, you're watching me, Bhaskar bhai, I must come. I must tell you that I will come one day and say hi to you. I know you're very close by. You're only hardly 120 kilometers from Mumbai. But give me some time. I'll definitely come and say hello to you and talk to you. You hate Sunny Gavaskar. I know that. So I have to speak to you about Sunny Gavaskar. Okay? Something good about him. Okay. Bye-bye, Bhaskar bhai. You take care.
Thank you.
So, Honorary Secretary of Kanara Saraswat Association, Ms. Ashwini Prashant, to present a token of appreciation, love, and our good wishes to Aniruddha Nancy for his very healthy and happy future life. Thank you very much. I think we had these 2 donors and 3 donors. I think we heard a lot of things from them, but something which registered in my mind is they say that God has given every human being 2 special gifts. One is ability to think, second is freedom of choice. And I think all these people have done that, use their sort of thinking. There's a thought spirit action. The thinking was healthy, and that's why they could act in a healthy manner. And that has saved so many people. So the second thing is that they talked about the pain and other things. So everyone knows that no pain, no gain. But that NO has to be replaced with KLW. That is no pain, and then only you can no gain. And that is what Angela mentioned. But certainly life is different. And we realize that we all, everyone here, that is Shaya and Samin got this kidney transplant, and Aniruddha got the heart transplant. Support for healthy and happy life ahead. And now, let you, dear audience, for anything in your mind, just get it clear. Even in your own way. I read it from Jaya. Yeah. Actually, I thought that time she showed something. So thank you. Sorry.
No, not at all. मैं किडनी से बात करती हूँ. So I really have nothing new to say, but you all have heard Sameer. You all know the pangs that जो kidney जब fail हो जाते हैं या heart fail, सबका अपना अपना story अलग होता है. It's unique. The family is reacts in a unique manner. So if the three of us are here today, I think we're just grateful to God, grateful to the universe, and just grateful, period. That's it. This is a second chance for the three of us. My story, I just have one photo to share. The last PPT, please. 2009, I got detected with kidney failure. Reasons were unknown. No, they called it asymptomatic. The doctors said. So when they say, "Ye wala, second wala on kar," yeah, no problem. So when they say it's asymptomatic means उनको भी पता नहीं है basically क्यों kidney fail हुआ. But when it got detected, obviously the whole life took a 360-degree turn and it was very difficult. I'm a person who, I think all of us are like to be in control of our lives. मेरा background है कि मैं एक MBA, उससे पहले मैंने electronics engineering किया है, MBA किया है. I was working in the corporate world, doing well. And at that time, I was working with my father in our family business. उससे पहले Raymond Limited में I was the treasury in charge over there. So life was good. I had a 5-year-old daughter at that time, and I had met my husband in our MBA. We decided to get married. It was a love marriage, come arranged marriage. So life was good at that time. But जब ये हुआ तो पूरा ऊपर नीचे हो गया. This life was so full of uncertainty. अब next क्या करके मेरे को relatives पूछते थे तुझे बताया क्यों नहीं ऐसे सब हो रहा है करके. लेकिन क्या बताऊं, मेरे को next minute क्या हो रहा है समझ में नहीं आ रहा. It was so fearful. And when the doctor told me you have to start dialysis, I resisted. मैंने fistula नहीं कराया. You all know what a fistula is? Fistula is a surgery that they do in the hand or in the leg to start dialysis from that point. But I resisted it. I said, I don't want a fistula. I don't want a lifelong reminder of this thing, but it was just the irrational me. I was not thinking logically. I was exploring peritoneal dialysis. I was also exploring transplant. So मेरे पापा इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा what do I say, he was my partner. He's no more now. I lost him last year. But he was my big support for me through all this because he would do all the research. मैं research करने से, net research करने से डरती थी क्योंकि मैं इतना negativity रहता है, the minute you Google बाबा, उसमें कुछ भी डालो तो इतने कुछ नेगेटिव भी तो डिस्टर्बिंग लगता था. तो पापा पूरा शांति से बैठ के he used to start research, reach out and all that. I miss him for that. But तभी he said, why don't we ask a doctor about peritoneal dialysis, about transplant. तो ये सब डॉक्टर से जब बात किया तो ट्रांसप्लांट ही said is the best option for you. अगर आपको हो सकता है तो ट्रांसप्लांट करवा लीजिए. Peritoneal dialysis हो, hemodialysis हो, it's not going to be as effective as the quality of life that you will get after a transplant. My family, of course, I consider myself very lucky. My father was the first one to offer. My brother, I have a brother who is 6 years younger to me. My mother, all of them offered. First, my husband was the first one to offer. He said कि मैं donate करने को तैयार हूँ. ये क्या life है क्या? Because every other day we were going for dialysis. मैंने जब fistula refuse किया तो मेरे emergency में आप catheter डाल के next day they had to start dialysis. क्योंकि यहाँ से वहां तक चलने को नहीं हो रहा था. सांसें बहुत फूल रही थी. I had shortness of breath. And doctor yelled at me, बोला था तेरे को करवा ले करके नहीं करवाया. They had to put the catheter over here and start dialysis. और मुझे अभी भी याद है, I don't know, somehow I used to fear going into the dialysis center. It's like किसी केव के अंदर मुझे ढकेल दिया हो जैसे, ऐसे मेरा एक्सपीरियंस ऐसे था. मैं दुपट्टा से पूरा कवर करके ताकि ये दिखे नहीं ऐसे जाती थी, आती थी, किसी से नहीं मिलती थी. It was bad for me psychologically. I think it was the worst period in my life at that point in time. When my daughter used to approach me, so I just want to share this. She used to make these drawings, leave it under my pillow. सुबह उठती थी तो कुछ ना कुछ वो बोलेगी मेरे को, मम्मा सी अंडर योर पिलो. तो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू शेयर दिस. ऐसे बहुत से उसने मेरे को बना के दिए. उसमें एक ऐसा भी है कि वो और मैं, मॉम हम लोग बैडमिंटन खेल रहे हैं. शी इज लाइक, मम्मा यू विल बी फाइन, विल प्ले बैडमिंटन. हम दोनों का एक सपना था कि हम लोग स्नो में खेलेंगे, बिकॉज दोनों ने कभी स्नो में नहीं खेला था. आई हैव नेवर सीन स्नो एट दैट टाइम. तो वो बोली, मम्मा वील गो टू शिमला एंड वील प्ले इन द स्नो. ऐसे छोटे 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 कुछ ऐसे ऐसे बना के शी यूज्ड टू कीप इट अंडर माई पिलो. बट द फैक्ट वाज, इतना मेरे को खराब लगता था कि विल आई बी एबल टू बी अलाइव एंड सी ऑल दिस. क्या मैं उसको वो सपोर्ट दे पाऊंगी? और मैं अगर चली गई तो मेरे पीछे कौन ऐसे, नोबडी कैन रिप्लेस अ मदर, यू नो. सो सच इनसिक्योरिटीज, सच अनक्लियर लाइफ. आज का दिन निकल गया, ठीक है, अच्छा, कल का पता नहीं कैसा होगा. ऐसी सिचुएशन था, कुछ ना कुछ कांस्टेंट प्रॉब्लम्स हो रहे थे. बट इन दैट सिचुएशन जब डॉक्टर ने एडवाइस किया ट्रांसप्लांट, पापा ऑल्सो वॉन्टेड टू गिव बट ही हैड डायबिटीज, सो डॉक्टर ने उनको कर दिया. मम्मी वॉज देन द फर्स्ट पर्सन, आई एम देयर फॉर यू, आई एम देयर फॉर यू, मेरा किडनी तेरे लिए. ये तो चुप बैठ करके मम्मी बहुत फोर्स करती रही, बट आई रेजिस्टेड दैट. आई सेड, मम्मा नहीं, तेरे को कुछ हो गया तो आई विल नेवर बी एबल टू लिव विथ माई सेल्फ. It was such a difficult situation, I can't tell you. I mean, I consider myself very lucky, but if something would have happened to her, is it worth living such a life? ऐसे बहुत मेरे को confusion होता था. It was not at all an easy phase. But जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि at one point in time, God somehow sends a messenger in your life in some way or the other. There was another uncle who had donated one of his kidneys to his daughter. तभी शायद किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट्स इतने कॉमन नहीं थे, थोड़ा रेयर ही था. बट वाया कोई तो एक दिन मम्मी पापा के घर पे आ गए. Their surname was Ambikars. So that uncle said that, look, I donated me, माझी किडनी माझ्या मुलीला दिलेली आहे आणि 10 वर्षापूर्वी 10 years ago, and she is doing perfectly fine. मला बघ, मी अगदी ठणठणीत आहे. जिथे पाहिजे तिथे मी जातो, जे खायचं नाही मी खातो. घाबरू नकोस, काही नाही होणार तुझ्या आईला. That made so much of a difference. Trust me, looking at him in flesh and blood, standing in front of me, and it gave me a lot of confidence. We decided to go ahead. The doctor also then went and enrolled us for the tests, and quickly सब कुछ smooth हो गया. Mummy was a good match, so we went ahead. In March 2010, I had my transplant. So 2023, so 13 years I've completed. This coming March, I'll be completing 14 years. So thank you. So I just want to show, Mr. Ulal said that it would be good if you can share some photos. Very quickly, I'll just share a few photos. What all we did, the first thing we did was went snow tubing. This was our first vacation after my transplant, and that's my daughter. So by God's grace, we were able to fulfill that wish also. We also went on helicopter rides, roamed around the world. हमने bucket list बनाया. Every year कहीं ना कहीं कुछ नई जगह पे visit करना है. Next, sir. Segway ride. I went fishing. Next, please. Parasailing, paragliding. Sorry. And that's me with my very close friend. Next. That's Jairam, my husband. A few of my friends. Next. That's Divya, my daughter. Next. That's my mom. She gave birth to me not once, but twice. So I'm very, very, very grateful to her for this beautiful gift. And if I'm here in front of you, it's because of her. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. Thank you. And if you have any queries, I'm happy to take them. Thank you.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Anything your mind in any language. Yeah, please, yeah.
अगर आपने क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछा तो मेरे को लगेगा कि आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं है.
ने बोला कि 6 घंटे के अंदर निकलना चाहिए. कॉर्निया 6 घंटे के अंदर निकलना चाहिए, लेकिन कब तक रख सकते हैं फिर बाद में?
सो कॉर्निया, स्किन, बाकी के भी सारे जो टिश्यूज हैं 6 घंटे के अंदर रिट्रीव हो जाने चाहिए. और कॉर्निया जो है उसे स्पेशल सॉल्यूशन में, एक मीडिया सॉल्यूशन करके है, उसमें रखते हैं. एंड सो देयर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ मीडिया सॉल्यूशन. One type allows you to keep up to 15 days. The other one allows you to keep up to 1 month. और इतना शॉर्टेज है कि 15 डेज के अंदर सब डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाता है. स्किन कैन बी स्टोर्ड अप टू 5 years. बाकी सारे टिश्यूज जो है अप टू 5 years स्टोर कर सकते हैं. ऑर्गन्स कैन नॉट बी स्टोर्ड. एज मिस्टर अनिरुद्ध सेड, हार्ट एंड लंग्स आर अ रेस अगेंस्ट टाइम. जैसे बॉडी से निकाला तो वैसे 4 घंटे के अंदर वो लग जाना चाहिए, नहीं तो वेस्ट हो जाएगा. सो इसके लिए अगर आपने सुना होगा तो ग्रीन कॉरिडोर ऐसे आपने सुना होगा, राइट? सो व्हाट इज दिस ग्रीन कॉरिडोर? बेसिकली दे आर फ्लशिंग द ऑर्गन्स so that the patient who is waiting to get transplanted can get those organs in time. तो और अपना बॉम्बे का ट्रैफिक तो आपको पता है, तो इसके लिए पूरा एयरलिफ्ट करके फिर एयरपोर्ट से तो हॉस्पिटल तक आना है, तो इसके लिए वो लोग पूरा ट्रैफिक सिग्नल ग्रीन कर देते हैं. और जो एम्बुलेंस जो कैरी कर रहा है ऑर्गन्स, उसको फुल पास थ्रू करके लिए दे डू दैट. सो दैट्स कॉल्ड अ ग्रीन कॉरिडोर. एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस? Yes, Bhakti.
You talked about children being able to give a child. So I just wanted to understand, this is just curiosity, that a child's organs are so small. How is it that a child can give an organ to a 13 and 15-year-old?
Again, I think he had touched upon it briefly, but the weight has to match. There are so many things that need to match, which basically means that if you have children on the waiting list, an adult organ cannot be given to them. Only children's organs can be given to other children. So it is very important that we encourage this. It's very difficult. One of the most difficult things, even as counselors, we know that it's easier to ask for adult organs. The family फिर भी हाँ बोल देती है, but बच्चों का it's very difficult. But still we are seeing, thanks to the level of awareness going up, बहुत से families आगे आ रहे हैं and they are volunteering for that. So, yeah. Any other questions? कोई भी questions गलत सही नहीं होता, please पूछ लीजिए. Yes. Yes, because I was very keen to know this. The only thing that is required is the organs should be in good condition. तो अगर वो किडनी अपना creatinine is good, creatinine is the indicator of kidney function. अगर creatinine is pretty good, that kidney can once again be donated. The idea is जितना reuse हो सकता है, recycle हो सकता है, उतना करें. It's just that the organ must be good. It's possible in a person that the kidneys are not good, but the heart is good, the liver is good, in which case only heart and liver would be retrieved, kidneys will not be touched. So yes, as long as they're good, they can be reused. Mm-hmm.
Keep it going. One thing, this is coming around this point.
My daughter. I had to be there because I couldn't imagine anyone filling in that role, And, when I was in a lot of dilemma, confusion, कि मम्मी ने तो बोल दिया मैं देना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन मेरे से नहीं हो रहा था वो डिसीजन. तो एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम मम्मी ने मुझे एक ही क्वेश्चन पूछा, भगवान न करे तेरे बेटी को अगर होता तो तू देती थी क्या? तो मैं सेड ऑफ कोर्स, विदाउट थिंकिंग आई वुड हैव गिवन. She said, there you go, you got your answer. So that made a lot of, so for my daughter, that's my answer. But Sameer can give his answer.
Okay, I really don't know what kept me going. I don't know what kept me going. I just felt that, I was living every moment. So I never thought about the future much ki kya hoga, kya karna hai. I just kept doing what I felt like doing, and I think I am here to see this day and answer your question. Anirudh, yeah. I'll hold it for you.
No, it's okay. No, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. What's your question?
What kept you going? What kept you going?
You kept me going. I mean, what keeps you going is basically, there are so many factors come into play in that, in fact. Now, there is a different story altogether because the transplant, the organ came from the blood. Okay, from the DNA it came from. Mine was a different story altogether. So ultimately, basically, what are you looking at? Something that, one is you understand the whole thing, the whole dynamics of it. When you do the heart transplant, what will be the beneficiary? What will be a good? What will be your after transplant? What life you can live? What you can do better things than what you are doing at the moment. That is one. Second thing is the doctors who give you a courage. The doctor is to explain in the right way in giving the examples of people. Guys, let's see this man. He's living 5 years down the line. Okay, he's doing it. He's traveling. He's doing his business. He's the man. He's supporting somebody else. I've told my doctors as well. They put me on to people. People call me up. I said, boss, आप क्या करता है आजकल? बोला मैं खेलता हूँ आजकल. बोला क्या करता है? बोलता हम भागता है. बोला किधर भागता है? बोलता मैराथन भागता है. बोलता हार्ट ट्रांसप्लांट के बाद भी भागता है. बोलता हाँ भाग सकता है. So that gives them a kind of a courage when person sees themselves. Now you all have heard of heart transplant. A lot of friends of mine, I've asked so many people have been brought up with heart transplant वाले को देखा है क्या? बोलता नहीं देखा है. बोला देखने का है क्या? बोला किधर है? बोलता तुम्हारे सामने बैठा है. So it's like something for them. It is something not seen. You've heard of it. If you go to US and all, South Africa, all those places, you find people of heart transplant. It's pretty common there. But what keeps you going is your own self, your boss, your family, your children. So many things. Friends like you keep me going all the time. Pradeep keeps me going all the time. Deepak keeps me going. Bharat keeps me going. Suryal keeps me going all the time. All of you keep me going. Simple as that. It's your inside. तेरे को भी हो जाएगा ऐसा. भगवान करे तेरे को ना हो ऐसा. Like anybody gets it, whoever, for example, they get inner courage in themselves to face the music, face the reality of life, to live a better life. That's it.
Yeah, good questions, huh? Very good. So we also get some sort of education as well as some courage for tomorrow.
Can organ transplant be done from home? Donors, can you, like somebody passes away at home, incidentally? Yeah.
So when, like I told you, if somebody's passed away at home, that means it is cardiac death. And in cardiac death, eyes and skin can be donated at home. So yes. So each and every person in this earth can donate something or the other. All right. So you don't have to necessarily be in a hospital. Even at home, eyes, skin can definitely be donated. I also want to tell you about the body donation program. Do not confuse this with the body donation. Over here, you're donating organs or tissues, and the body comes back to the family for further rites and rituals. But in body donation, you're donating the whole body to a medical college for further research and studies. बहुत से लोग वो प्रेफर करते हैं, वो अलग प्रोग्राम है, ये अलग प्रोग्राम है. हाँ, तो confusion नहीं होना चाहिए, because people think body donation means अंगदान, but that's different. This is different. मुन्ना भाई ने दिखाया, yes. Not a great example to give, but yes.
Body donation doesn't necessarily result in
No, not at all. It's only for studies, yeah. Okay. A lot of films have been very nicely made to depict organ donation. There's also heart transplant. Madhuri Dixit ka ek movie tha heart transplant pe. I don't know if you all have seen it. Very nicely made it was. लेकिन थोड़े movies एकदम कुछ भी बकवास दिखा देते हैं. That puts more fear in people's minds about that also, unfortunately.
As per your experience, how long does a recipient have to wait to get a donor?
So there is no straight answer to this. It depends on the blood group of the recipient. Now, difficult to say. I'll tell you why.
It depends.
Depends.
It don't depend. I think
What? Depends on the blood group.
depends on so many factors. So especially heart is concerned. Heart is basically, I mean, you got to have a matching donor. So it could be a month, it could be 2 months. I waited for 1 year. So as I told you, I said, went twice to the hospital and came back. The donor didn't know the
List simply because there are so many people who are waiting on the kidney waiting list. Okay, in Mumbai alone, there are about 4,000 patients who are registered for a kidney. So I know people who have said that 8 years के बाद मेरे को call आया. Some people say 6 साल के बाद call आया. So it's difficult to say because A positive is one of the most commonest, again, blood group. So if you are a universal recipient, you can get from any donor. But if you are a specific B positive, ऐसे तो फिर मुश्किल हो. So it all depends on multiple things. And donor कौन बनेगा पता नहीं है. Only God knows. और कुछ भी हो सकता है उसका blood group. So really no one will be able to predict because a lot of patients call us up and ask कि कितना waiting list होगा. कोई भी नहीं बता सकता, unfortunately.
Let me tell you one example of a friend of mine who lives in Australia. He's been advised of heart transplant. He's on a wait list for the last 2 years. Now, the thing is in Australia is that Australian people are big. You know, Australia, like they were saying that they are not getting my in India because our average height is 5'8", 5'9". Indians are. Australians are 6'3", 6'4". This guy is 5'8", 5'9". So he's not getting a heart of his matching because the donors are all huge and big. Therefore, I believe he's struggling. 2 years down the line, so he's thinking of coming here and enrolling himself here and basically waiting for the. So that's all I'm saying. The wait is, as per it is all, I think it's all a lot.
From this question, how long does it take for an relative? Both of you are recipients from very near and close relatives. For that, is there a specified time limit?
If you have a donor who is available, then it's taken care of. So both of you just walk into the hospital, say that he wants to donate to me, I want to receive from him. So then from that moment onwards, they'll put you on to certain blood work. It has to match. Side by side, they'll also ask you to do some legal work just to prove that this person is indeed my blood relative and there is no wrongful thing. There could be affidavits, वो सब documentation होता है. फिर एक video interview होती है in which they check with the donor that the donor is doing this donation out of his or her own will. There is no pressure on them whatsoever. And there is a money exchange. So all of these things are, and the relative of the donor is also the husband, the spouse of the donor is also willing. Because like Mr. Nadkarni was sharing, it's very rare to find an understanding spouse. In his case, he has a lovely family, so congratulations. But many of the times we see the spouses are not comfortable with the act of donation because आगे जाके कुछ भी आपको होगा तो. I know of a sister, elder sister, who wanted to donate a part of the liver to her younger sister. Younger sister was in Delhi, she was in Pune. She was so keen. She was constantly talking to me. I also connected her to another female who had donated a part of her liver. But this lady ka husband or दो बेटियां जो थी, teenage daughters, they did not allow her. They just said no, nothing doing. And after 1 month, that lady called me up and she was crying. She said, I lost my sister. So she has to live with that guilt forever now. That's why I just told him immediately, it's very rare to find a understanding spouse and children.
So, as I remember, your question was about immediate relative donating. So, in my case, my parents were always more than willing to donate, but their blood group is different. So, I'm A positive. My mother is AB positive. My father is B positive. So, when I started on dialysis, it wasn't possible for them to donate to me. In those days, plasmapheresis wasn't existing. Now, I went on a cadaver queue. And by the time, actually, I got a call once, and that time I was detected with hepatitis C and genotype 1, as I mentioned earlier. So I had to wait for because I actually consulted two top hepatologists, and both of them told me that it's a big risk to go in for a transplant with this condition. So I had to wait, and subsequently my parents themselves came forward, and my mother donated to me. So unless there is a medical issue, it doesn't take time. It's like immediate. But in my case, there were some issues due to which they couldn't donate to me when I started on dialysis. Any more questions? Plasmapheresis is a process. It's called ABO incompatible. So what they do is it's a very painful process. Yeah, briefly. So they exchange some plasma from my mother's body to my body and make it more acceptable. So it's like fooling the body into thinking that no, my blood group is AB positive. So it's basically fooling the body. I did my transplant in HL Reliance Foundation. Very good treatment I got, and I must compliment that my doctor, Dr. Bhaveshwara, has been very supportive throughout my whole journey. And I think doctors, I must say this today, doctors are demonized, to a great extent. But today I must say that I have met a lot of doctors, and those kind of doctors are just rare. Most of the doctors I have experienced are very genuine and great human beings. And I think we must trust our doctors more. I think one doctor is sitting here, Prakash Ma'am. He has always been supportive of whatever I have done, I think.
Samir, any more questions, my dear friends? Okay, so can we just have the present duty to be performed that I linked to our honorary secretary? So, assuming proposing a bit of thanks on this beautiful evening.
Thank you, Sunil. A very good evening to you all. It is indeed my pleasure to bring the vote of thanks today on behalf of KSA. August 13th every year is celebrated as World Organ Donation Day. It is a day to spread awareness on the importance of organ donation. And the symbol of organ donation is a red heart with a green ribbon and the word donor written above the heart. Although organ donation has increased over the year, as Jaya Madam pointed out, in India it is sadly lagging behind in the world. But today, after listening to our guests, I am filled with hope that very soon organ donation in India will also increase. We sincerely thank all our guests today, as well as our co-host, MOHAN Foundation, and Srimati Jairam, the coordinator of MOHAN Foundation, for highlighting the importance of organ donation today. Every story has two sides, and today we listen to the donors, Srimati Vinaya Haladi and Sri Bharat Nadkarni, as well as the donees, Sri Samir Haladi, Srimati Jaya Jairam, and Sri Aniruddha Nansi. They have enlightened us on both aspects. We are very grateful to all of you for sharing your experiences. And believe me, When I was here listening to you all, to all your experiences, to the pain, the suffering, and finally, that one thing which helped you overcome all of this, I had goosebumps. And I'm sure all our audience had the same. And actually, today, I have made up my mind that I will definitely enroll for the organ donation. And I'm sure most of us have done that. It was overwhelming, truly, to listen to all of you. I also would like to thank our KSA Vice President for addressing and welcoming the audience. I would like to thank Shri Samir Haladi for introducing the wonderful Srimati Jaya Jairam. Please tell your daughter that she is very sweet. And I would also like to do all of that sometime maybe in life. We are ever grateful to our very own Sunil Ulal Ma'am. He has conceptualized this entire one-of-a-kind program, and he has taken us through this program so beautifully. And of course, all those who helped us to put this program together, a very big thank you. Deepa Mangalore Pachi for rendering the Sabha Prarambha and Sabha Samapti Prarthanas. Dhruv Dhareshwar for rendering the beautiful Saraswati Vandana. Shri Bipin Kulkarni for the sound system. Shri Bhavesh Jain for the decoration. Gangavali Caterers for today's snacks. Rajan Kalyanpur Ma'am and Hemant Komrabel for technical support. Rupali Kapnadak Sawant for helping us to publicize this event through our beautifully designed flyers. And of course, our office staff, Shobana, Swati, and Komal, for helping us behind the scenes. And last but not the least, our lovely audience, who despite the time being 8:30, still are listening so patiently and have raised such relevant questions which have been answered so beautifully. And of course, those who are watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube. Thank you, all of you. And now, I request Deepa Pachi to please come and render the Sabha Samapti Prarthana. Thank you all. I just want to also share that we have kept our flyers over there. This is my colleague Shamika Singh. So we have some flyers over there. So if you're interested to know more about organ donation, or flyers आप ले सकते हैं. Don't, pledging your organs, you can do it online on mohanfoundation.org. We also have a QR code. We are tech savvy. So you can just scan it and that will take you to the website as well. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Nandan. Nandantu sadaka sarve vinashantu vidhushakaha avastha shambhavi mestu prasannostu guru sada sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashi dukkham apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May God bless everyone who is watching this meet. I will days physically and wish you a very healthy, peaceful, and glorious 2024.